Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? The New Jersey courts are hiring. Make a difference doing work that matters. With competitive salaries, pension, benefits, on-the-job training, partial remote work, and paid holidays. Apply now at njcourts.gov/careers.
Flip, an award-winning reporting and attribution platform that allows advertisers to revolutionize their OTT campaigns by tracking actions, not just views. Flip offers a straightforward way for advertisers to buy, manage, optimize, and measure their digital strategies in real time by pinpointing exactly where audience actions are coming from and directly connecting ad views to measurable results. With Flip, brands can target specific audiences by date, time of day, streaming platform, channel, geolocation, device, demographic, behavior, gender, income, and more.
You don't want to miss. Don't miss deals at ShopRite. This week, get a fresh jumbo pack of Purdue chicken drums and thighs for just 99 cents a pound. Use your Price Plus card to get Green Giant Simply Steamed vegetables for only 99 cents each. And 1-liter bottles of Bowl and Basket Seltzer for just 50 cents each. Don't miss ShopRite's Don't Miss deals in-store and online at ShopRite.com. ShopRite. Check out happy.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Please allow me to adjust my pants so that I may dance the good time dance and put the onlookers and innocent bystanders into a trance.
Welcome to Gen Exhausted. I'm Chris.
I'm Rich.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Earl.
We've returned again. And they found more stuff at Joe Biden's house.
6 more documents.
Yeah, and also Mike Pence's house.
Hey, who cares about Biden? Pence has fucking documents, dude.
Right. So
that's Pence and Trump. Huh?
Well, so now I'm guessing. So I'm guessing now too. So what? We're Trump, Pence, Biden. So I'm guessing Barry's got them. Dick Cheney, W. Go search the Bill Clinton library. Check out the Reagan library. What's Jimmy Carter doing? Can we toss his house too? I'm guessing this is maybe commonplace.
Well, what has Pelosi gotten drunk and taken home?
Yeah.
What has Pelosi gotten drunk, told her fucking husband about, and the husband went, oh yeah, hold on a sec, I got to make some stock trades real quick. No, I forget. That's like, our government conspiring against its own citizens. We agree it happens all throughout history, happens every other government. Not ours, though. Our government's above that.
Yeah, of course.
We would never.
The Honorable Pelosi would never do something like that.
They don't manipulate information through social media channels.
I'm just starting to think that these top secret classified documents are nothing more than like a page holder in a book. It's like a bookmark.
Right. No, we brought up in our little talk beforehand, and I think it's worth repeating. What I think is going on, my speculation of what's happening, is they tried to go after Trump for something that everybody did. That everybody, if you were to search their house, they're going to have classified documents somewhere. Just stuff gets shuffled around. And they tried to Trump, because the American citizen doesn't know that. We don't know what they do and don't do, what they can take home, what they can't, what's like, you're not supposed to make copies of this, but if you need a copy, like, we just do it. It's fine. And so they made a big media frenzy about that with Trump. And then somehow it ended up coming out that, oh, oops, there's Biden's. And so now they're having to be like, all right, who's our next one? Pence, no one really liked you anyway. Come on, you have to turn in your classified documents. Let's just get this over with. So they can just smooth it all over and be like, see, nothing to see here, guys. It's fine.
Okay, but isn't this a case of, hey, everybody's done it, right? And it's like, oh yeah, everybody's done it. So, well, what do you, the guilty, who we've caught red-handed of doing this and have admitted that you've done because everybody's done it, what should be your punishment? We should just let it go.
You know what? I'm going to throw you one deeper, Rich.
No. You're right. We should. So we should allow all the rapists and child molesters and murderers out and send them over to your mom's, and your daughters, and your grandchildren's house.
Right.
Where they can live locked in, and we will have food and provisions delivered for them for 1 fucking year. And we'll see if you sing the same tune on day 366. Better hope it's not fucking leap year.
Ironically, that's not too far from where I was going, because Jess is a huge conspiracy theorist like myself. Apparently now, every president and vice president has classified documents at home, either by choice or, oops, we packed too quick and forgot to pull this one out, whatever. So they're making a whole big stink about it, and now Joe Biden's in it, and they're like, okay, so we'll stop going after Trump, but hey, we got Pence. And then all of this about classified documents, everybody has completely forgot about the Epstein trials. Everybody has completely forgot about Hunter Biden's laptop and the images and everything. I was showing my roommate the images coming from his laptop. She was like, oh my God. She had never even seen them. And because it's all gone. Because we care about what everybody's doing. And when I say by everybody's doing, I'm talking about presidents and vice presidents. We're packing up. We're getting out of here. Oh, shit. This was supposed to stay here. Here. Have it back.
The more, yes, and that is something we talk about every week on this show. It's the shotgun news effect. We throw so much bullshit at you, you can't keep up with it. It's the opposite of it's the opposite. It's the same tactic used in a different method. It used to be they buried you in volumes of information where you couldn't dig through it all to find it. Now they just throw tidbits of information at you a ton and hope to overwhelm you with bullshit, and it works. But the bigger tell to me is this. If everybody does this, and this is such a common thing, then why the fuck are these people still in politics? Why are they not being prosecuted? And why are they not in jail for this? I don't care how common murder and rape and child molestation and assault and all these other fucking crimes are, right? They get prosecuted. And believe me, drive around with expired tags and see if you don't get a fucking ticket. Don't pay that ticket and see if you don't get a warrant. Don't fucking show up on court and take care of your warrant and see if you don't go to jail. And I damn sure think not having your tags up to date is a lot less of a risk to the fucking security of the nation than letting classified documents willy-nilly get lost in the wind. But once again, our leaders...
I was watching a leftist show. It was a complete hardcore leftist show. And they were like, I'm giving Mike Pence a pass on this one. Because, with the January 6th melee and everything, he was just throwing everything in a box and getting the fuck out of there. So they were just like, yeah, he has them, but I'm probably inadvertently. He probably wasn't trying to take home, super secret classified documents and hold it over.
I say to that one,
can we stop acting like the vice president was like feet away from the fucking quote unquote insurrection? He's the vice president.
Not the politicians. They're not going to do it. Are you nuts?
Also, I say to this person, 2 weeks before he was leaving, he's just going to start grabbing all his shit and leaving?
No, but on your...
Do they know when Inauguration Day is?
I'm just saying, on your last day, and you've already been, hang Pence, kill Pence, what a traitor.
January 6th wasn't his last day. January 19th is their last day.
Right, but January 6th started the kill Pence and he's a traitor and let's hang
Chris,
him.
I don't know why you're picking this fight with him. He's just repeating what someone said on a podcast.
Exactly.
Go pick it with the motherfuckers who said it, dude.
Yeah, and I just, it's one of those smoke screens that are, watch the bouncing ball over here, because it has absolutely nothing to do with anything that means anything that's going to happen in your life. That we're keeping the secret, but continue to watch the bouncing ball.
It goes to show the hypocrisy of these people. It doesn't matter if they're even willing to excuse their enemies' sins if it excuse their fucking savior's sins. It's scorched earth policy applied a different way is what it is, and we see what's important. We've literally have politicians acting like, oh, this is no big deal. This happens all the time. Then why the fuck are those people that do it all the time still politicians and not in jail?
And why are you going after Trump and not Joe Biden? Why
because
are you going after Pence?
My guess is
Joe Biden.
Probably not as big a deal as they're trying to make it.
That's exactly what I said. Watch the bouncing ball, please.
See,
please.
If no one's in jail, then it's probably not that big of a deal. Like they're trying to.
And once again, it's not that big of a deal until they need it to be a big deal.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah, it's a huge deal when it's Trump because he's holding classified documents at his house in Mar-a-Lago.
It was a huge deal about fucking Hillary and her fucking server at her house and the emails, dude. This has been a huge fucking deal for going on a decade now.
That's right. Don't vote for them. They hold classified shit. They'll use it on you. I swear they will. You'll end up dead. Don't do it. Ask Epstein.
Too late.
Man, you just got rabbit ears for Epstein, huh?
No, man. I was talking to somebody.
You know that trial is at a stop right now. Like, the reason you're not hearing about it is nothing's going on.
But, dude, he's dead. His girl is on trial.
Yeah.
You will never hear.
Yeah, I'm saying that trial's over. Like, they're waiting for sentencing now.
You're never going to hear who was there, who went to the island. I was talking to somebody about abusing children and shit. And I'm like, one of the biggest abuse of children that was ever thrown at you, nobody's asked about. Nobody. Everybody's just, who has documents?
Here's my guess. This is what I think is going to happen. This is just a guess. I'm pulling this out of my ass, so excuse the shit flavor. I'm going to guess that there's going to be, like, the sentencing. There's going to be some sort of fucking, the prosecution has talked to the defense, and she has cooperated, and so blah, blah, blah. And we request those files be sealed. The judge will rule fine. She'll go to fucking a level 3 instead of a level 4 prison or something, and that'll be the end of it. I mean, she ain't getting out, but we're never going to see that list, dude.
No.
And here's the deal.
No, we are not.
Here's the deal, okay? I get that pisses off a lot of people, but what is there to be done about it? If I give you one time purge level immunity, do what you want, but it's only to one person who caused this, and you can't do it to her because she's in custody and Epstein's dead. Who are you going to blame for all this? Who is the person we can go, this is the person who's hiding this? This is the person who's pulling the strings. Who are you mad at, dude?
Our government, period, end of file. All the above, all the below, everybody in fucking between.
Okay, but you understand that's like a big, nebulous they. There's nothing there.
The hierarchy, yes.
There's nothing to go after.
Yeah, there's nothing on the equal sign. I got it.
Okay, all right. No, I'm just saying, dude, because they want you to think it's decentralized like that, and you're confirming that. Yeah, what you're telling me works. I believe it's decentralized like that. Okay, so yeah, all right. But this is what I'm saying. Dude, what do you expect? I get it. People are pissed, but what do they expect? That's not coming out, dude. It ain't come out now. I mean, who's going to leak it? Assange?
Yeah. It's what you said in the pre-chat where, you know what, let's just have a beer and watch the end. Because that's what everybody is, not everybody. That's what the intelligent people say, Rich, like you. What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do about it. It's just accept it, move on. Well, we've done that for so long, and here we sit in 2023, and we've, on our podcast alone, have talked about the "Are you fucking kidding me's," which have gotten so far out there, we're just like, come the fuck on, and we're just going to keep accepting it, and the people like you, me, this podcast, and people like us are going to accept it enough to where we're just like, damn it, I'm done. And
that's
the end of the world as we know it. Yeah.
To me, also, that's something that just the levels of power that goes on. That's a level of society that 4 of us will never be in, sniff, get anywhere near. I mean, that's just something I've accepted. Like, that's just something that happens in a different world.
Right. I guess what you were, Chris, saying about me and Epstein, I guess what it is the topics we're covering tonight and we've been covering, it bugs me so much because I have a BA in history and I see where we were, how we got, and where we're going, and I'm like, it just pisses me off.
But I mean, this is sadly, it's nothing we've talked about, but I mean, I think more people are open to the idea now. I've been hearing about it pretty much my entire life. We are the modern day Roman Empire. Empires have a lifespan. Empires have a structure to them. A rise, a peak, a fall, and then ultimately a collapse. We've peaked. We're well past the peak. The problem is that we're going down a lot quicker because we came up a lot. What does they say about roller coasters? The slower the rise, the quicker the drop. Well, in this case, we went up real quick. We're going down just as quick because that's just that's the speed the world moves at these days. And this isn't to say the U.S. isn't going to be here, but power Power is not what power is not what even it was 100 years ago. I mean, what the 100? Can you imagine when we were Chris? We're the two oldest motherfuckers on this podcast, I believe. If not as me and Earl, but like us three. Can you imagine like them talking about globalization during like the height of the fucking 80s Cold War?
Ooh.
It's a given now. Power is different. The world is different. And we're still thinking on terms from 1970. And the world's looking at us going, yeah, good luck with that shit. We know what the real world's like. We got to deal with it. The real world is the world y'all create so you can live in your bubble over there in your little fucking protected continent.
Yeah, because they've killed all the people that want power. Yeah? All the crazy motherfuckers, Hitler and them. Now, instead of wanting power, the Ayatollah in Iran, they have under very, very tight wraps. But anyways, I digress. Now, instead of power and reign supreme and land and no, we've matured. Now we just want money. Now we're just greedy as fuck. I want to lavish as lifestyle as I can live.
Well, money's power in our current society.
I understand that, but it's not power they want. They don't care about, controlling what you and I do or say or anything like that. They don't care about that. They want as much money as they possibly can have, just so they can live a very lavish lifestyle.
No, that is,
and everybody they love.
Where you and I diverge, because I'd say with the state of our media, they absolutely care about what we think and say. They're trying to manufacture it. They're going to...
No, the media is just keeping us at bay. They keep us fighting against ourselves so we don't come after them. Not them, the media, them, the fucking government who's controlling the media.
The media is part of the tool that's destroying us.
I understand
it's not going to It's not going to be a foreign enemy.
No. Hold on. Okay, please, guys. You guys are agreeing. We can't. Come on. You're agreeing here. Not I know but or yeah but.
Yeah, you're right, Rich.
You're agreeing here. Come on, guys. All right. Well, look, I'm not saying give up all hope, cash in your life insurance policy, spend your kids' fucking inheritance. I'm not saying that. All right. But what I am saying is this shit can get over fucking whelming. And I mean, like, this is like, I guess we're kind of lucky because, like, even though it's essentially screaming into the void with our army of listeners, which we appreciate here at ChristopherMedia.net, I think this is just cheap therapy. Like, it's a way for us four to fucking get this bullshit out of ourselves, exercise the demons once a week, and then fucking be like, all right, let's go back about dealing with the rest of this shit that we call life. And like, a lot of people don't have that. So, I mean, like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's cathartic, but I think that sometimes, like, we also have to just be like, look, man, what can you honestly control? What can you honestly change? And try to keep that in mind. Be realistic about that. Okay, do we have realistic expectations about that? Yes, we do. Now we can goof on the other shit. Now we can be fucking fools. Now we can sit here and rant and rave and get our inner fucking bitch session on. That's you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I lose perspective of that a lot because I know what it's like to be taken. I know what it's like personally to be taken and told you can't do this, you can't do this, and for someone to look at you and go, you're not going to be able to do this until you agree that 2 + 2 = 5, and you're just like, but it doesn't. You can't do X until you agree with that, and that's maddening and it's infuriating. And I forget, not everyone understands what it's like, and people fucking take that for granted. So,
yeah. And then you just come down to the point where you're like, so all I got to do is say it. I just got to say 5. Okay, 5. Let's go. Yep.
But then it's just like what Orwell wrote in 1984 though. It's they want you to believe. They want you to know that it's 5 and to know that it's never been 4. It's always been 5.
Of course it has.
You know, do you see what I'm saying? Like
yep.
People who've been in situations like that where they've truly lost all power. I'm not talking about your parents wouldn't let you do something as a kid. I'm talking about truly lose all power and you realize how little control of life you actually have because you have none now and you don't have much less than you did a second before it was taken from you. That's a rare thing for a lot of people in this country. I mean, well, a lot of people I know at least. And if it's not, boy, they sure fucking forget that lesson that they've learned.
Yep, but by all means, keep arguing about your race and everything else, your sex and your gender. Please continue.
Well, there's been...
Bye, motherfucker.
The pushback on that is I'm loving it. I'm loving seeing it. fucking Chris is on. Chris has been listening to the Bill Maher podcast. I have yet to check that out. I saw you posted that episode. I haven't listened to it yet, but I've seen a difference in him post COVID. You think he went fucking full on like COVID did something to the man?
Well, he was talking to Sean Penn the other day, and like I said, God love Sean Penn. The man, he walks the walk. He's a man of his convictions. But Bill Maher talking to Sean Penn in 2023, Bill Maher sounds like he belongs on Fox News. Just the views he has. I'm not saying he's a right-wing pundit now, but just to hear, like, he has rabbit ears about COVID. He has come out of the pandemic with just a lot of, maybe he's getting older too. He's 66. Maybe his Get Off My Lawn is coming out. But yeah, people who have been solid voices from and even Bill's brought it up himself. Crowds at his shows are starting to become mixed. It used to be all left-wing people, and he's watching his crowds turn into a partisan, a half and half crowd.
Yeah, he donated $1 million to Barack Obama's campaign in 2016.
Why would he donate?
Or 12. Tarded.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there were idiots writing fucking $1 million checks to Barack Obama because they thought he could run again in 2016, right. And they're in Hollywood. I just don't think Bill Maher would be one of them. I think you're right, Chris. My guess is just like I said, like having someone like my rabbit ear thing is like someone taking freedom from somebody, someone saying you can't do something and shit like that. A big one, Bill Maher has been hell. It's always been that way with him. Mm-hmm. He's always been death on fucking American diets and American fucking this and American that. And with COVID, we saw doctors who probably 6 months before the COVID restrictions would have been, you came in for a gunshot wound in the ER and you're barely conscious and clinging to life. And the first thing they say is, you could lose some weight, right? Now all of a sudden they're going, well, it doesn't really matter. It's not about the weight that we're worried about. Everybody needs to do this and Bill Maher's like, no, the fuck I don't. And no, the fuck the 20-year-olds and 25-year-olds who are in perfectly good fucking shape. They're going to shake COVID off. It's a bad fucking cold for them. Old people and people who are out of shape need to fucking do all this. People with comorbidities. That triggered his fucking bullshit detector, and that sent him over the edge. That's my guess.
Oh, yeah, he brings that up all the time.
There we go. I didn't even listen to the fucking show. So right there. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's got that something. And
he even said a couple weeks ago.
It ain't happened to you. Keep waiting. It'll happen.
He said a couple weeks ago he got the shot because he didn't want Real Time to get canceled.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. The amount we brought it up. The how they're just like they're lifting the COVID restrictions or whatever to join the military. And I'm just like, oh yeah, now that everybody who is in the military and is in the top fucking ranking positions were the ones who got the shots, so you know that they'll do whatever the fuck they're told, regardless of, I just want, please don't take my pension away from me. Please. I mean, dude, it's how many fucking people did that? How many people just were like, just stick it in me just so I can go to fucking work? I can't. It's cheaper to die than it is to get a divorce because I lost my job. It's a lot of people, dude.
How did we get here, though? Like how?
Fear.
How did? But okay, some people it was fear, but some people it was just social pressuring.
Peer pressure, because the dirty secret in the whole peer pressure self-esteem movement, because a large part of the self-esteem movement, which I'm not really sure if you got the full brunt of, because it was just really ramping up when I was in school, was the whole resist peer pressure. But the truth is, it was never resist peer pressure. It was listen to the right peer pressure. Don't listen to the wrong peer pressure. So we were just conditioning kids, Pavlovian style, to listen to peer pressure. Just listen to the right peer pressure. And if enough people are parroting the same fucking talking point, and you've been conditioned since your first day in a fucking preschool to go along with that, what do you think's going to happen, Jess?
People got really, really upset in the 80s.
Jess, your voice got real deep. Wow.
I just wanted to coattail your remarks, Rich. I'm not kidding. People got really, really upset in the late 70s and 80s. And they wanted shit changed. It's like, why can't we prescribe opioids to people who have chronic pain? Because somebody high up had somebody OD, and opioids are now bad. Anyways, I digress. It started with that.
Motherfucker, just say you watched Wayne's World. We get it.
No. Listen. And then when they saw how people reacted to the Berlin Wall falling, and they were like, and this is what people do when we show them this. Huh. All right, get off drugs. Here comes that war. And just like Rich said with the Pavlovian thing of we just started being brainwashed by the media. And the more they controlled, the more we listen. And now there's very few and far between people in this country, us being one of them, that are going, you're full of shit and I can smell it.
You just want to see how much of a lemmings-like mentality most people have. Go on YouTube, type in running through random groups of strangers and watch the videos, especially in the hood. Oh, once one motherfucker runs in the hood, everybody in the hood starts running. They don't wait to see what the fuck we're running from. They just run. Am I bullshitting, Earl?
No, sir, you are not. Cedric the Entertainer said that. You can watch Kings of Comedy. He'll tell you. Let 2 or 3 people get up and start running. The black people don't need a run coordinator. They don't need a little message. Nope. You run, motherfucker, I'm running. When we catch up to each other, I'll figure out what we're running from.
Yes, I forgot it was him. I'm sure I was sure it was a comedian. I couldn't credit him because I forgot, but thank you for that. But yeah, he's a comedian, and of course he's a black comedian playing to a black audience mostly in the Kings of Comedy. So he put that spin on it, but that's a human trait, man. You can go watch videos from all over the fucking world of people doing that. You really want to see the lemming mentality? That is a hard word to say for me. That mentality in humans, I don't know why. Watch when there's construction and they got the barrels up and it's kind of confusing because eventually somebody, and it's like you either have to go left or right and someone's hesitating and someone just makes a choice and people just start following them. I've seen this happen. And then boom, nope, that was the wrong way because it's closed off a little bit farther down. You didn't see it. So now you're
here's
stuck.
The problem. The people that were in the lead are now stuck at the back of the pack because everybody else has backed up all the way to where they had to make the choice, and everybody else went the right way.
When we had that flood here,
that led them.
Yeah, we know how lines work
here. When we had that flood here in 2014, I was like, the worst place to be is because the way the highways are is the service drive that runs alongside the highway on part of our highway here in the Detroit area, 96. It's above where the highway's at. So getting on that highway when the area is flooding, that's below water level. It's below ground level. And I was like, I'm not getting on that highway. And as I passed it, I just watched 1.5 miles long of people and cars literally floating on 96 because they were like, I'm going to go to, and I'm just like, how did you think that was going to happen if it was flooded? But people just kept driving. All it would have taken was one person to stop at the top of the ramp and go, I'm not going. But they just kept following the one in front of them.
Hell no, there's water down there.
That's how we get here.
People in Kansas here go, how the fuck is this 30-car pileup happening? And I looked, and it's 90-4. I'm like, oh, God, yeah. Drive that road once. You'll figure it out.
I always feel like Car 30's got to feel like a big asshole.
Car 30 is, I really hope that fucking text was that important. Because that, dude, if I'm the insurance company, what car were you in a 30-car pileup? 30. Dude, what are you doing here? You're not getting anything. Get out of here. In fact, pay us. Fuck you. You owe us for fucking wasting our time with that claim. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, help us pay the first 10 because that's all that's getting it.
All right, now that we have completely derailed whatever the subject was.
Speaking of car crashes, that's the show.
So,
well, are we done with Biden? Speaking of the car crash.
We're done with the whole fucking government. Next.
Yeah. Well, that's it for tonight then. See y'all later.
I wish we could be done with the government. The problem is the government's never done with us.
No. I was just kidding, Rich. Don't get going again. God damn it. Start the rock rolling.
Just saying. We could be done with it. They're like, see you later.
Would we like to move into the Arizona University Union wanting a $25 thriving wage? Not livable, thriving.
Yes. I'm just saying, Rich, you bring it up all the time. Like, it's the give an inch you want a mile. Like, we've been hearing living wage for the last, 20, 30 years. Here comes thriving wage.
It goes back to what I was mentioning, Chris, to you. It's not so much the power as it is the greed of money to live better, to live as full of life as I possibly can. They want a thriving wage. They don't want bigger offices. They don't want bigger anything. They could give a fuck less. They'll do the exact same job that they've been doing for all these years. I want money.
Yep. Okay, dude, it's me. If you ain't got details, don't come at me with this bullshit. First of all, what the fuck are these people? What union? Who do they represent?
The Arizona University Union.
Yeah.
Of what? Of janitors? Of teachers? Of what?
The article said it would give 4,000 people a $25 minimum wage.
Okay, so we know that's not professors or anything like that, because I doubt a professor's only making $25 an hour at a university like that. So that's probably like maintenance staff, shit like that.
All campus workers in Arizona, whether university employees or contracted employers or contracted laborers.
Yeah. Contracted laborers. Well, then wait a minute. They're contractors. How can they unionize?
Well, this is the United Campus Workers of Arizona Union.
Well, a contract worker implies a 1099, which means there's no taxes taken, which means you have to.
Did you say except contract workers, Jess, or including contract workers?
No, all campus workers in Arizona, whether university employees or contracted laborers, must be paid a thriving.
So contracted laborers would be someone like taking care of the fucking lawn.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but I'm with Rich. Your contracted workers generally aren't unionized.
How
they're independent contractors. That's like the gig.
Yeah, that's literally independent contractor is a nice way of saying self-employed, because 35 years ago self-employed was impressive. Now it just means you're a loser.
Yeah, now it means nobody will hire you and you have to do it yourself.
So it's like, I don't pump gas. I'm a petroleum discharge engineer. Get the fuck out of here.
What I find just so ironic about this is further down in the article, it says, across our communities, we have seen a significant increase in housing costs, gas, and food expenses. The current inflation rate is 10% in Arizona, and workers' wages are not increasing to meet the increasing expense of living in the area. Do people not understand that as you raise minimum wage, the fucking price of shit goes up?
No, I've been screaming about it for years.
I heard that, Chris. Yes, I do.
But apparently basic economics, just,
So
whatever.
So they get their $25 an hour, and then the price of fucking everything goes up. And then what's the next one? Are we going for 35 and even 40?
No, the next one is you move to California because it's the same price.
Well, the University of California, Berkeley, and the United Auto Workers Union have also been negotiating higher wages and increase for workers on campus. They negotiated a 66% pay increase.
I want to know what the UAW, who the fuck is working at the University of Arizona or whatever the fuck, that the UAW has to represent them. What are you doing? Are you a shuttle driver? And I'm sorry, but Arizona is not a strong union state. That was a right-to-work state when I lived there back in the 90s. So, I mean, you got to forgive me, but this sounds like a bunch of people making demands that they can't even first of all, these aren't even, realistic demands.
This is reminiscent of the thing we covered a few shows ago.
Well, and then second of all, what leverage do you have? You don't work for the university. You're a contract employee. Basically, they offer you a job and offer to pay you. You go either I'll take it or no, I need more money, or you negotiate your benefits and you go from there. I don't understand. This is what I'm saying. This doesn't make any sense. This sounds like it's either we want to piss off the right who hate unions, or we want to fucking galvanize the left who love unions type of story. That really is based on bullshit and people fucking going, I want this. That doesn't make it fucking realistic. I want a 10-inch cock. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. So what the fuck?
Does anybody want a Starbucks?
Nobody wants Starbucks. Not even the motherfuckers that work at Starbucks.
You remember we did the piece about the Starbucks that wanted to unionize?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing. And just like everybody's saying, McDonald's $15 an hour minimum. Yeah, now go in there and order from the screen because they replaced all their employees.
I brought that up to my partner the other day, man.
I defer to Chris.
We have been eating McDonald's every fucking day for like almost a year. Cardiologists, I understand. Whatever. But I remarked to him, like, dude, we have not ordered from a person in a year. Like, you walk up to the screen, you type in your shit, somebody fucking hands it to you. Like, they've already started with the front of the house. Cashiers. See?
Well, and with everything that's rapidly coming out in terms of AI capabilities, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but there was an AI, it has a name, and it has passed the medical licensing board, the bar. It wrote a dissertation, got a B, just on a random topic. Like, all that they're going to be capable of doing with AI, that's like our rapidly growing technological advance right now. So what are they going to be able to do with AI here in even the next year?
Learn to work on AI, kids. I read an article the other day that said the singularity could happen by the end of the decade. So there you go, Jess.
Yeah.
You might live to 120. You might get your wish.
I'm going to object to Rich saying don't cash in your retirement. Do it. Anybody ever seen the movie Moonfall? Yeah. AI self-aware, Terminator. Yeah, you're fucked.
Man, dude. Like, of all the movies you could have fucking picked, Moonfall? Dude, I sat through that fucking flaming turd of a movie and was wishing for cancer of the prick, eyes, and asshole all at the same time. I don't know how the fuck that movie got $100 million to be made. Holy shit. Anyways, yeah, that is terrifying. And what's even more terrifying is that this AI these programs are starting to be responsible for more and more shit in our day-to-day lives that we don't even know about. Case in point, there's been tech companies where it's been being revealed that there's no human oversight to their how, what, why, where, and when, and how about how they ban for life and et cetera, do shit with some of their customers because it's an AI programming and handling all of the algorithm. It's almost like a high-tech version of a wind-up toy that's been left in a room. Hope it does what it's supposed to do. And I get it. These are companies that are spending millions upon millions of dollars to make sure that this shit works to the best of its ability. But the more control it has, the more room for fuckery when it fucks up. And this is what I just don't understand. Everybody acts like in this world, like everything's always on. My fucking refrigerator's connected to the internet. Isn't it great? No. The fuck happens if the internet goes down?
What the fuck happens if you make a remark that you're not supposed to? Oh, you shamed somebody, so...
Jess, I was trying not to go that deep that quick. I mean, you got to have some foreplay. You can't just go balls deep, like, hi, how you doing? I mean, you got to hey, so what do you think about Coldplay? Something. You got to have some foreplay.
Hey, that just means after a year, like, Jess is one of us now. She just dives right in.
True.
Well, I mean, that's why you don't buy the best, highest package of a vehicle. The more fucking shit that's on it, the more it can go wrong.
Yeah, but dude, do you understand? Oh my God. I was scrolling a Facebook page that a friend of mine's a member on. A friend of ours, actually, Earl. And, well, I think he might, growing up, he's a friend of ours. And they referred to a car from 1999 as a classic automobile. And I realized that car is over 20 years old.
25.
That car is vintage.
25, yes it is.
Once again, that's our generation. The generation who's in charge and outnumber us say that it's 20 now. So you're wrong. I was wrong.
Does this mean a 5-point slow is now a classic car?
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm just like, that hurts. That hurts. Because like, God damn, dude. I remember when I had to buy, when it sat in, I will never be able to buy a new car or a gently used car, meaning the car like less than 10 years old, that is not fuel injected ever again. Now, I'm just like, man, I hope a computer chip don't blow because that's going to be that's going to be $10,000. Well, it's the most expensive paperweight I've ever fucking seen. What the fuck am I going to do with that?
Yeah, junk the car and buy a new one.
But I mean, no, you're absolutely right, Jess. There is the whole factor that the always on also means always listening, always watching. That's one of the issues I had with one of the delivery apps I was using. They wanted permission to track and listen and have access to my microphone and my camera and my location, my GPS at all times, even when I wasn't using the app. And I said no, and it wouldn't let me use the app to make deliveries, so I just deleted the app. You're not going to track me where I'm 24/7.
Yeah, on the iPhone, I use the all only when the app is open feature.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Not all the time. No.
I mean, dude, I don't know how to write code. I'm not like running Linux or anything, but I know a little bit. I've jailbreak some shit. I've done some shit. I know what I'm doing, and I know enough to where you're gonna need a warrant for that motherfucker, to quote the song. So yeah, no. And I mean, like, but how many people don't even just go, fine. Now you have basically a spy device in your pocket.
Oh, today,
as long as that app's on.
Today, I was watching my buddy's Alexa just glow while he was sitting there talking, having a conversation with somebody. I was like, "Oh, that's listening right now."
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even He didn't say anything. It was just I just watched it be dark, then light up for a few seconds, and then go back to being dark. It's like, ain't that some shit?
Yep, and the whole time while you're watching the light, yeah, Arizona, you ain't making shit because you're all replaced.
Told you, man. Remember that movie that came out, American Factory? Watch it. Barack Obama produced it. It's about a Chinese factory that came to, I think it was Lordstown, Ohio, and took over a shuttered, I think it was GM plant. It was a glass company or some shit. And they came to town and they gave everybody jobs. And then a bunch of people started making noises about a union and this and that. And half the people were like, why don't you shut the fuck up? Remember how we didn't have jobs? And then the end of the movie essentially showed the station where a particularly, well, in my opinion, when you watch the movie, a particularly mouthy broad was working. The last scene of the movie was now a robot doing the job that she was doing. Just saying. Like, that's how that world works. I'm not begrudging people the, like, right to make a living, but I'm just saying, like.
But do you understand, Chris, that this is why I've been hammering this home to you for fucking months now? When you say shit like a business only has one responsibility, and that is to make a profit at all cost, and that removes the bar that we hold nobody to any standard.
You know, I feel like when I told you that,
hold on.
I mislabeled the term.
Let me finish.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, well, but let me finish. If it's only what you can get away with legally, I guess, is the standard, and everything else, the bar is removed, then why, if you don't begrudge the businesses for trying to make a profit at all cost, at all times, why do you begrudge the workers for trying to extract as much from the bosses in the company with as little work as possible? Isn't that what the bosses are doing, trying to extract as much from their customers with as little fucking spending as little capital as possible? Why is one okay and one not?
Well, I need to amend my statement. I said it's the purpose of business is to grow. And I guess the way you show that a business is growing is you make more and more money each year. That is really, like, if you're not growing, like, you're just treading water and you're wasted money. No, I don't begrudge people to make but when it gets to ludicrous levels, you know, when you
$25 minimum.
Yeah, when you want to make $55,000 a year for rolling out of bed, like, that's insane to me.
I mean, but dude, you're talking, once again, you're thinking $1993, $55,000 a year. Dude, $55,000, we live in a shithole, and $55,000 a year could barely fucking, I mean, like, this state is garbage. Like, we are smack dab in the middle of Averageville in this country.
$55,000 a year in Michigan, that's a solid middle class salary.
Where?
Here.
For what? A one person? For one person? Are you high, motherfucker? Most people ain't you. They got families and shit. How do you support a family on $55,000 a year?
I know what things cost. You can do it. I know plenty of people doing it.
I challenge you on that.
I know plenty of people doing it.
Okay, doing it and doing it and being able to, I don't know, do it well is a different story. You can survive in prison, Chris. Do you want to survive in prison? No. Can you? Yes. See the difference? So why shouldn't they, if the standard is, well, their job is to always make profit more than they made last year, my job's to extract more and more money from them for less and less work. That's the game.
Okay, well, how about this? That's fine. Let's go capitalism to the granular level. You are a free agent and an at-will employee. Go get your work. Why are you settling for? Go out and get a better job.
Yeah,
Once again,
and
Jess,
people have been
this is
doing
how
that
we
for
got
3
here.
years, and people have been bitching about it because they can't get their fucking McDonald's. There's no, dude, the whole unemployment people. First of all, I heard somebody online claiming that, and I'm like, bro, did you hop out of a DeLorean from 3 years ago? What's still, even California has cut that shit off.
Yeah, that shit ended in 2021.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And people are still beating that fucking drum. Like, no, man. People did exactly what the fuck is it. I guarantee you, in the next couple of years, you're going to start seeing a lot more fucking younger people coming out of trade schools and smaller types, like, 1-2 year, type schools, type like that. I guarantee it. Because they were like, oh, this is it? This is my life? Get a better job? This is all the fucking empathy and compassion you have for me? Then fuck you. Fuck your fat ass, and you can get your own fucking McDonald's or wait for the AI to do it. I'll go get an education. And now we're sitting in the middle of everybody bitching and complaining because they can't get their fat fucking ass McDonald's as quick as they used to.
Well, the business.
So, dude, there's no winning. The point is, there's no winning. How does everybody win? You tell me.
I'm just saying the businesses are adjusting. Like I just said, I've been ordered from a person at McDonald's in a year. Like there's said the jobs that are left. I've been saying it for years. Will be $15 an hour.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? The New Jersey courts are hiring. Make a difference doing work that matters. With competitive salaries, pension, benefits, on-the-job training, partial remote work, and paid holidays. Apply now at njcourts.gov/careers.
Flip, an award-winning reporting and attribution platform that allows advertisers to revolutionize their OTT campaigns by tracking actions, not just views. Flip offers a straightforward way for advertisers to buy, manage, optimize, and measure their digital strategies in real time by pinpointing exactly where audience actions are coming from and directly connecting ad views to measurable results. With Flip, brands can target specific audiences by date, time of day, streaming platform, channel, geolocation, device, demographic, behavior, gender, income, and more.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already? Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow. So, sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's.
This is actually brilliant.
You can come too. Turn out that light.
There's a deal for every breakfast strategist at McDonald's.
Start your morning with a $3 bagel breakfast sandwich, available only in the app. Offer valid 1/2 through 1/15/23 at participating U.S. McDonald's. Valid one time per day. McD app download and registration required.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? The New Jersey courts are hiring. Make a difference doing work that matters. With competitive salaries, pension, benefits, on-the-job training, partial remote work, and paid holidays. Apply now at njcourts.gov/careers.
Flip, an award-winning reporting and attribution platform that allows advertisers to revolutionize their OTT campaigns by tracking actions, not just views. Flip offers a straightforward way for advertisers to buy, manage, optimize, and measure their digital strategies in real time by pinpointing exactly where audience actions are coming from and directly connecting ad views to measurable results. With Flip, brands can target specific audiences by date, time of day, streaming platform, channel, geolocation, device, demographic, behavior, gender, income, and more.
The always ready for breakfast deal.
Going to bed already? Yep. Breakfast at Mickey D's tomorrow. So, sooner I go to bed, sooner it'll be morning. Sooner I'll be at Mickey D's.
This is actually brilliant.
You can come too. Turn out that light.
There's a deal for every breakfast strategist at McDonald's.
Start your morning with a $3 bagel breakfast sandwich, available only in the app. Offer valid 1/2 through 1/15/23 at participating U.S. McDonald's. Valid one time per day. McD app download and registration required.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
I absolutely hate it, but Chris is right. And there is no winning as you would love to have it. There is none. What's going to end up happening is exactly what we were talking about. This Arizona thing is exactly a great example of it. I demand 25. We're going to unionize. We're going to take it. And then everything goes sky high in Arizona's campus. So your $25 don't mean shit. And eventually what's going to end up happening, because I absolutely believe in Chris and everything he's been saying, I'm not bullshitting, everybody's going to be replaced either by AI, by a machine, by something, to where all of us are going to be the Mexicans trying to steal somebody's job. The smartest, biggest, most intelligent of us will survive. The rest of us, yeah, go fuck off. Fight of the fittest, excuse me.
No, it ain't gonna be survival of the fittest. We've socially and falsely engineered to where what made us survive as a species 100,000 years ago ain't what's going to survive as a species now. It's different qualities, but I get what you're saying.
It's not going to be a job or anything. It's going to be, I got this cow, come take it.
Then this is the worst timing for fucking businesses in the history of fucking ever, because this is not you just had millennials, the biggest generation since the baby boomers, might even be bigger depending on when they finally get around to fucking just setting the final parameters for the millennial generation. If you want to fucking do a reset, you do it with when there's less people, so you don't have to worry about a bunch of unemployment. And that would have been Gen X, because the baby boomers weren't fucking the first half of their fucking lives, not like they were in the second half of their lives. So I mean, it goes back to what happens. And all I'm saying is there's no way for everybody. There's no compromise here. It's big business gets its way all the time. And you just go, thank you, master, for the job. I appreciate it. Or the employers come, or the employees come in, slap around middle management, teabag them, make them fucking drink their piss, and then sit around and finger fuck their phone for 8 hours and go home. And are those the only two choices? Because I refuse to believe that.
I think business is going to business.
Business has business themselves out of business plenty of times, and we have artificially propped them up, and we will continue to do so if they're the right business. So what businesses are going to business their way out of business?
No, guys.
And how much is it going to cost us in the end?
You're looking at it in reverse, I feel. My opinion.
The ones that don't have the lobbyists?
This is how I'm going to end this one, because with Arizona, again, as our study here, they're trying to unionize the people, the common people, the have-nots, if you will, are trying to unionize to get more money, to get more living wage, to live lavish lifestyles as they can. Like I said at the beginning of the show, okay? It's not going to work. It's just not, because like Chris has said, business is going to business. And you're right, Rich. Business is going to business themselves right out. Right now, though, is the best time for business, because it's the biggest time they've ever made a profit. And eventually, the unionizing and hardworking, and I went to college, I got a degree, I'm getting my worth, as Chris said, all of this shit's going to head, okay? It's going to come to a very big head, and it's going to pop. And when it does, that's when we reset.
All this fucking worshiping of these corporations and shit, and this fucking simping and white knighting form that I see people do, I'm just like, do you think they're going to fucking stick by America's side if we take a turn for the worse? Those motherfuckers will have their fucking corporate world headquarters in China or in some fucking Scandinavian country so fucking quick. So stop sucking their dick and acting like they're doing you a favor. These people are not your friends. These people are not your fucking allies. They've made that fucking clear. And I'm not talking about, Chris, small business owners or franchise owners. And if you can't understand the difference between them and corporations, that's a you problem, brother. That's not a me problem. And I think that's where we get a lot of confusion on this podcast. I'm not talking about people who have a small business or a franchise. Unfortunately, they are fucking used as pawns in this fucking bullshit war when they don't need to be. Because, like I've said, there's a compromise that can be made. No one wants to make it. Everyone wants to impose their will on everybody else.
Absolutely.
Horse shit. Grow the fuck up.
Next topic.
Well, we're still staying in unions. Where'd it go? Union membership fell to record lows in 2022.
Probably because they're doing dumb shit like, we want $25 an hour for contract employees.
Well,
that's where my union dues are going, stupid.
No, it was kind of a dumb. I thought it was a kind of misleading. It's not that the membership fell; it's that the percentage of the workforce is less than what it typically is. It's at a 10.1% of employees are unionized. And while union members have grown in 2022, they went up by over 250,000. So there was a very big leap in people who were just taking like standard jobs like at Amazon.
Yeah, just basically the job market grew, so the percentage shrank. It's how it's been measured since the 80s, is they just measure it as a percentage of how much of the workforce belongs to a union.
Yes. So.
Well, you also have to remember there's been a push in the last decade, especially in the 2010s, that it was like, I think it was a midterm fucking like issue here. The right to work shit. There was a lot of push for that, like in the in the 2010s, and a lot of states went that way. And what's funny is that like some of the states that went that way, I'm like, did you even have unions? It's like Texas is a right to work state, and I'm going, yeah, and duh. That's like saying, oh, by the way, they have guns too. Oh, you think? I think JFK and Jackie know that.
Oh,
just saying. What? Too soon? 75 years old.
Yeah, right.
No, just like you said to me, all of the things you could have said, and that's the one you referred to. Damn. The Alamo, anything. No.
Charles Starkweather on the fucking University of Texas clock tower knows better than there's no gun in Texas. There. Now people are in Google. Who the fuck is Charles Starkweather? None of you dumbasses know.
Yep.
No,
when your Google degree trumps my history degree, that is why I'm not a history teacher, you fuck.
Yeah, I have no idea.
He's the guy who went nuts in the 50s, climbed the clock tower at the University of Texas and shot like 12 people.
Oh, he's the prototype?
Yeah.
When everyone talks about someone in a clock tower, they're talking about Charles Starkweather?
Yes, and he was referenced in at the shooting range in Full Metal Jacket when they're trying. He's like, how many of you people have heard Charles Starkweather, whatever the fuck? I might have his name wrong, but... And like, none of you dumbasses know who he is. One guy raises his hand and he's like, you joker. Sir, he was the guy who shot on people at the University of Texas clock tower. That's right. And who knows who Lee Harvey Oswald is? Everybody raise their hand. Shot Kennedy, sir. That's right. And where'd they learn to shoot? In the Marines. That's right.
Yeah, and Charles was portrayed in the movie Higher Learning with a really bald-headed white guy.
No, that was not a portrayal of him, dude. That was Michael Rappaport playing a fucking nerd who became a skinhead in the 90s, dude. It's not even in the 50s in Texas. Bro, how many drugs have you done?
That's the only thing it reminded me of when I saw his ass up there.
Jesus.
And Earl just come roaring back this week.
Roaring back with like on Ambien, motherfucker. Are you gonna go steal some bread from 7-Eleven after this show? Like, what the fuck are you like? You for missing information?
I'd love to go steal some bread from 7-Eleven, but this fucking state don't have them.
Sir, okay then.
Nope.
Piggly Wiggly.
Nope.
Come and go, in and out.
I forget what he has. It's been a couple years.
Quick Trip.
Yes, I love the Quick Trip Cinnabon
and jump
cappuccino. By the way, it's delicious. Anyway, so
that was pretty much it. They're saying they fell. They're saying that it's because people are going to work for places like Amazon, and they brought up Starbucks, who do not let people unionize, will fire people for talking about unionizing. And
every time I read that stuff, I want to see proof, because that shit is illegal.
Well, I mean, Starbucks just did what they fucking did in San Francisco. 2 fucking stores that were franchises voted to unionize, and they just closed those franchises down. And the owner took them to a different fucking area where they didn't vote to unionize. And I mean, for as liberal as the city of San Francisco claims to be, they let them do it. I mean, you figure as much as they meddle in private business, they would have fucking stopped them, but they didn't. They just go ahead. So that shows you who they really care about and whose side they're really on.
I think the magic word in there, though, is franchise. I think that is that's the shield. That's the loophole, right? They could just...
Yeah, if I own something and want to
the franchise owner probably went, I found a new location. It's crazy. No, Starbucks.
Yeah, I guess it would be more on if Starbucks sold the location or didn't open or put a new Starbucks there, a new franchisee in there. I guess that would be... Maybe they could have some say in what the spot could be used for. So, yeah, I guess...
Now, the corporate fuckery could be like, oh, hey, we found you a new location... Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. That's the corporate fuckery. Perhaps he was not looking to move.
Well, I mean, and once again, nothing is fucking going back to one of the very first shows I ever did with you guys, when we brought up unions, I'm like, I don't know how I feel about unions, and I don't feel one way about all unions, because there's a lot of unions out there that are bullshit. Kroger's has a union, and that union does jack and shit for its fucking for its members. But they sure take them union dues.
Oh, I wish, I wish I would have sent it to you. I saw an article the other day that said people's attitudes on unions. It was like a poll that pretty much said what I've been saying. Like, they feel like they have an outdated attitude and they need to, like, get with the time. Like, of all the dumb shit I sent you guys, I should look, that's saying what I've been saying for years.
Here's what I don't understand. Why do you have to go to an already established organized union to form a new union? Why can't you just start a new union? And if your union solidarity is a thing, that's a fellow union brother. Even though they're not in your union, you should stand and be solid and be shoulder to shoulder in solidarity with them, right? You shouldn't try to poach them from their union that they've started.
I think we know the answer to this. It's the answer to a lot of things on this show. Follow the money.
Money. Yep.
But then again, right there, that's where these are not people who are down for fucking what the quote unquote cause they claim to be down for. It's about putting money in their motherfucking pocket. Because if it was about truly they believed in the labor movement, they would do what I said. Or they would fucking pay, or they would clear the way as best they could for anybody to come in behind them. If like even if they were like, we want to join your union, but your union isn't the union for what we do, for our job. Well, let's get some of these stepping stones out your way. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, good people are good people, and good people in business are going to find other good people. And hopefully do business with good people and create their own circle of, these are people that we can do business with, and it's a fair transaction, and we don't have to worry about the fuckery and the nonsense and the bullshit. And for every business that's like that, there's unions and shit like that. No one's all bad. No one's all fucking good. And I know I sometimes fucking go on rants and I get generalized and I come off that way, but I don't feel that way. And when it comes to unions, there's a lot of bullshit unions. A lot of them. And I found out I was in a union that we had a former co-host. Me and him were in the same union. Seniority matters. I found out. I told him my story. He was like, yeah, how long had you been there? I was like, less than 6 months. He was like, yeah, you didn't stand a chance. He's like, me, they wouldn't even look twice at. And I'm like, how is that fair? And I mean, because that's what the unions, that's what you're here for, right? Yeah, I remember I was 18, 19 time. You know what I'm saying? When the union, when they were telling me like, well, no, you're just not senior, you're not this. And then, oops, I almost said his name. He backs me up fucking decades later and tells me, yeah, no, they weren't going to help you anyways because you didn't have seniority.
Ouch.
Seniority decides over time. It doesn't decide who you go to bat for. So as savage as I can get about fucking people picking apart unions, I can pick apart unions too. So, I mean, why would membership go up? If you're not offering a service that's valuable and that's going to do anything, why would it go up? And I mean, on top of that, do people realize that like unions, like when they don't get their way, they go on strike? And do people even understand what a strike is anymore?
No.
Like seriously. Like people, like I think people like in their 20s think a strike is quiet quitting, or they think a strike and quiet quitting are the same thing, and it's like no. And
no, people in the 20s think that strike you misspoke, you misspelled the word stroke.
Well, no, what I'm talking about, like if a union goes on strike to get some benefits or a higher wage, these people understand you don't get paid, and a union you just formed probably doesn't have a strike fund, does it?
Right. I mean, no, it's...
So you want me to go out front of this place and hold a sign and not get paid for it?
Here's my question. Why am I not involved with any of these people or any of their dealings? And I've thought more about this than their fucking so-called leaders seem to have. I'm just putting it out there. This is why this is why I hate people and I love a person.
Hey, Jimmy Huff, Rich, yeah, just pipe down a little bit.
I mean, there is such a fundamental misunderstanding among younger people about how the unions work. I mean, for starters, reading about why a lot of these people want to form the unions. Forming a union ain't going to stop the staffing shortage. Like there's that, but also too, I think I've talked about it before. Seeing a lot of these people bitch about like when they figure out how the process works, they're not too happy. Like Starbucks is in it, and I feel like we're picking on them, but it's just they keeps coming up in my feed, and I read stories about them. But there's a few.
Yeah, the new one.
There's a few stores, corporate stores, where they've raised the wages and they've offered better benefits. And the union employees are like, "Hey, well, we want the higher wages and the other benefits too." And they're like, okay, well, how your collective bargaining works is we just can't raise and lower your wage just because, and just as we can't add or take away benefits. Next time it's time for negotiations, this is how this works. And a lot of people get, they're all butthurt because, like I said, there's a misunderstanding of how this shit works. When they find out how it works, they're like, hey, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it works. Look into what you voted for.
Yeah. Today they hear union will help you keep your job. Okay, so I'll get a steady income. All I got to do is pay a union due. Okay, come here.
Yeah, and then, the management, the middle management who's no longer union, it will give them raises and blah, 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 and do what Chris did. And all the union people will be like, well, wait a minute. What if we get rid of our union? Well, I don't know. I want to try that. And then they do, and then nothing happens.
See ya.
They weren't going to give him a raise anyways. Now, that was just a really long way of going, nah. I mean,
nice solidarity.
That was a way of going.
Nice solidarity if you break up your union you just formed.
I mean, it's all it takes, dude. It's all it takes.
What?
How much of our society is... Hold on. How much of our society is based on envy of what other people have and jealousy of what other people have, or being pissed that someone's got something that you don't feel they've earned? How much is our day-to-day society based on that?
It's like that Saturday Night Live skit. Everybody's got this stuff, and I want to know, where's my stuff?
Dude, seriously. And people pick and choose what they get upset about.
Yeah. Unions are a very, very prime example of the shift that I was trying to explain to Chris. It has no more to deal with power, and it is all about money.
It just seems like it I guess to me, like I never really ultimately to me, it just seems like a grift. It seems like you pay for something that you don't get.
Got you through your childhood. How many times have you said that the union and GM paid your dad enough so he could support a family?
Well, no, he was never in a union. GM, he's never.
He said he worked at GM, didn't he? Or did he work at Chrysler or wherever?
No, he worked at GM, but he worked at a tech center. He started out as a printer and just worked his way into like the mail room and then up into the offices and shit. Like he's never in a union.
This makes sense then. Okay, and I mean, like, it makes sense because I have a buddy who. No, I have a buddy. Okay, Earl, we have a buddy who works for a large diesel engine company, and he hates the union that the line employees are on, but he's an engineer and he's in a different union. He loves his union. And I'm like, why do you hate the line employees? Well, they're all lazy. Their union's shit. And I'm just like, I wonder if they say the same thing about you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then also like management is former fucking line employees. And if you're like that, you can't. So if your dad worked his way up, yeah, that makes sense. Because if he was never in the union, he was seen as an outsider, wasn't he then?
Yeah.
Like to the union people.
Oh, yeah.
So that makes sense. Okay. All right. That tracks then. Okay. I get it. I got it.
But yeah, that just shows the shift in this country because unions were formed to get corporations by the balls. The double nickel, the speed limit of 55, get the hell out of here. Our trucks need to go. Right? Now they don't care about having them by the balls. They want to negotiate contracts to get better wages. It's just a huge shift.
That is fun. That's funny because I guarantee you people are listening and they have no idea. They're like, what, 55? What? Like when it went to 55, it was.
What are you talking?
It was to save because it was during the fuel crisis, the energy crisis in the 70s. And it was to help with MPH because God knows rolling around in your 69 fucking Camaro, 10 miles per gallon is better than 8. You know, I mean.
Yeah, let's not talk about what it was meant to do because income tax, your guys are being robbed and you don't even care anymore. Income tax was just help to fund the war. War's over. Anybody?
Well, that's where the sentiment of whatever the government takes in times of war, they're not going to give you back in times of peace.
Well, they're not
so be careful
taking it in times of peace either, apparently.
Well, we've taught them they can do that, but yeah. Patriot Act, how you doing?
Right.
That's still. Do you understand that blows so many people from overseas minds? Like to this day, they're like, y'all fucking beat your chest and with your Star Spangled Dicks and everything's so Star Spangled great and all this shit. And man, they just fucking one terrorist attack on your land and y'all were just like bent over, booty hole open. Fuck us, government. Take anything you want. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, not everybody, not even most people, but the right people. Yeah. Old people, people who were scared of their own shadow, people who thought they were going to take a shit and Al Qaeda was going to climb out their ass. Yeah. Go ahead, take all my rights. Make me safe, daddy government. And you know what?
Oh, I swear to God.
It was fucking right-wingers that were doing it then. Wanting daddy and mommy government to swoop in and save them. And now it's the fucking goddamn left-wingers. And people like me and the rest of us sitting in the middle going, okay, can we get the pendulum to stop swinging for a little bit? How about that? There's more of us in the middle than there are on the fucking edges.
Stop thinking the government's going to save your fucking life.
Whoever wrote Bush's speech after 9/11, when he was in the Oval Office, and the speech ended, "We will not fail, we will not falter, we will not fail." Oh my God, dude. Yes. I sadly have to admit, Rich, I'm one of those people that were like, fuck it, take it. Patriot Act, bring it. Let's get these motherfuckers. Yeah, oh my God, that speech.
And you know damn well, not one word that came out of that fucking hole under W's nose was written by that man.
Oh no. Speech writers.
No. Yeah, I was definitely a speech writer, but I was so I was pissed off. It's my birthday, number one. And number two, all those fucking people and firemen. And then he said that. I was like, motherfucker, I'm in. Let's go.
Just mad it was on your birthday. Still.
No.
You want to know what's fucked up? I have this very clear memory of the Gulf War I, and the night that the invasion started. Right on CNN, you could flip. You could flip. Well, this is in what, 91 when this happened. Yep. So I mean, it was still a lot of the fucking really grainy night cam footage for the most part of rockets taking off. But I mean, you could watch it in real time on CNN, and then you flipped over to the other channel, and on HBO they were showing Top Gun at the exact time the invasion was being broadcast. Yeah. And the next day I went to school, and the teacher I had was the teacher in this class was a former Marine, and so he was talking about it, and one of the kids, I remember the kid's name. His name was Billy. He was like, "Man, my dad was watching the news, and they were showing the invasion, and I went in the other room. My brother was watching Top Gun, and I was like, let's join the fucking army and go kill some fucking Arabs, man. Yeah." And I'm just like, dude, I'm like, what, 13? Going, wow. It's real easy to get motherfuckers riled up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Jess, like, I don't know how we got here, Jess. I really don't.
I don't know. Well, no, just hold on, because you just brought up a very good point, dude. I didn't understand any of the fucking psychology, any of the fucking ways and means, any of the tricks that were being used, but I could tell that there was some sort of sleight of hand going, because I was like, I thought war was something we're supposed to be somber about, not like yeah, let's watch even at 13, I understood Top Gun is not war. War was Platoon.
And all
war was Hamburger Hill. War was Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, and all through our childhood, all we heard from adults, even my dad who served in it, was fuck Vietnam. A very anti-war childhood, and then but by the time in middle school, it's fucking yeah.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing though, Vietnam is the only war that we quote unquote lost, but wasn't really a war, so we didn't really lose. If you talk to a World War II vet when we were kids and in high school, they tell you all about how we kicked the shit out of Japan after they tried and succeeded in attacking us.
Well,
they slapped us. We fucking shot them.
We didn't spit on World War II people when they came back, though, either.
Let me tell you something. I grew up in and around a VFW, and I got a lot of people in the military on both sides of my family.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody speaks quieter in the presence of a World War II combat vet than a Korean combat vet. And no one speaks louder in the presence of a Vietnam combat vet than a Korean combat vet. And that's a joke that would be said openly, and it like kind of the way that the services bicker between each other, like, you know, Army and Marines and Navy and Air Force, all that shit.
SEAL bouncing a ball on his nose. Yep.
Yeah, all that good shit. But I mean, like, there was some truth to it, like everything. And I mean, dude, think about it. Like, the Vietnam War, that hung over our generation to the point where none of us were drawing breath, even in 75, when the last helicopter left fucking Saigon. None of us were alive in 75. Yet the shadow it cast over our childhood is to the point where when we went to war in Iraq for the first, or in Kuwait, we were in the Middle East. We were like, whoa. And like, do you see what I'm saying? Like nowadays, do kids even care?
Dude, I feel like so much music, TV, and movies had Vietnam in it when we were kids. Like born on the 4th of July.
I had to read like, I want to say like 5 or 6 different novels, war novels set in Vietnam in school, and I think I read more books about the Revolutionary, like books, like novels, fictionalized history books, like Red Badge of Courage and shit. I think I read more about the Revolutionary War or the Civil War than I did about World War II. And which one really has more effect on our lives? Vietnam, the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, or World War II, especially in 1980. Right. I mean, we were still fucking fighting the Cold War. We technically hadn't finished with the epilogue to World War II.
It's true.
Well, yeah, but I mean, take it from me. Since our founding, one thing that America does not do is lose. We don't do it. If we're at a war, we're in it to win it, motherfuckers. Even if we show up at the last half of it, does not matter. We are the stop. We are the done button. And that's what a lot of people in schools today are losing through history of the American flag, the national anthem, how the rampart was standing. Anyways, Vietnam was a conflict and not a war. That's how the winners are going. The winners. That's how we are going to classify it. That's why we have never lost a, quote, war.
And there ain't one motherfucker who's American who well, no. Most motherfuckers who are American who would agree with you, but if you say that shit in front of a non-American, they'll be like, it wasn't a conflict. You can call it a Vietnam conflict. It was a policing action, and you got your ass handed to you.
We lost that one.
Yes. Call it what it was. You pussies can't even handle calling it a conflict till after it's done. And you've made movies 20 years later about, oh, Vietnam made us so sad. And it's basically guys, if you've never really dealt with people from other countries who don't like this country, but like you as a person, an individual, it's a trip because you start to really hear how a lot of people feel about us.
About America, you damn right.
Like, tell the truth. You went to Charlie's house, Charlie whooped your ass, and you went home with your tail between your legs.
And
my
now
college roommate was a Korean.
And your parents and your uncle, anytime they hear anybody fucking speak Vietnamese, they start peeping in the trees, wanting to fucking, they're back in Da Nang and shit. Yeah.
Start flipping the coffee table. Everybody down.
But the thing, Korea wasn't a clear cut win. Most historians will call Korea a draw, and that's that's what I.
Well, yeah. If it ended with 2 Koreas, was it a win?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like they'll say it was a draw.
Cross the 39th parallel, and let's find out.
But the point is once again, since we're talking generational shit, this is the baby boomers' generational shadow looming over other generations, and it's all about them to the point where they overshadowed World War II in our education with their war in Vietnam. And I guarantee you kids in school today are learning more about World War II than Vietnam right now. But they're probably learning more about pronouns than anything.
World War II was the shit. You had the History Channel in the 90s. Oh, man. Hitler Channel.
I tell everybody, they were like, well, when we start talking about wars and history, I'm like, so you guys want a clear-cut history repeats itself? In 91, we went to war. Where? Iraq. Who was president? Bush. And who was the chief of the commander of the military in charge? Colin Powell. Okay, and who was Secretary of Defense? Dick Cheney. Bet. In 2001 or 2003, whatever, we went back to war.
The reboot.
Where? Iraq.
We went from Bush. That 90s show to that 2000 show.
Yep.
We brought back Red and Kitty. Come on back.
I said they're trying to kill my father.
Oil? What, you cooking something, bitch?
Yeah,
what you cooking oil for?
Yeah,
right.
clear cut case.
Okay, Jess, I am sorry.
here.
We've left you totally behind.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're talking about unions.
Yeah, I don't know how we got here. We're gonna go. I feel like all of our topics are going like this tonight. New one. Let's go. So we're moving on.
Jumping off point incoming.
Incoming. Charlie, get down.
Fuck it. The Yellen rejects the GOP gambit on the debt ceiling.
I just didn't like her language.
Right? That they can't control spending?
Yeah.
Was that the quote?
No, we don't want to we shouldn't have to prioritize any spending. Like,
right, so
talk about not thinking like aren't you supposed in like part of your job as a politician, aren't you supposed to like be relatable to like everyday people? That's all we do is prioritize spending when you're a regular person.
The whole agenda that is trying to be pushed is whether or not we're just going to raise or temporarily suspend the debt ceiling. The GOP is saying no. Republicans are saying we need to figure out something else. We can't just keep raising or suspending the debt ceiling, which all of that's kind of over my head. I don't fucking understand how you can just say like, no, we've decided we can be in more debt. Carry on.
You know how I get more debt from my credit cards? I keep them all current. And then I go, hey, would you raise my credit limit, please? And they go, you are a customer in good standing. Here you go, sir. That's, again, back to how it works for everybody else. But apparently, the government is on some crazy system. Hey, we're out of money. Can we have a higher credit limit? Sure.
Right. And the White House, Biden, and the Democrat side of this is they're saying we're not negotiating where you're going to raise the debt ceiling. So the Republicans are saying no. Democrats are saying that that's what has to happen and there's no negotiation happening.
American printing press. Don't leave home without it.
It seems like such a fucking recipe for disaster, and everyone's like, oh, it's fine, it doesn't default till June. Like, oh, okay.
We should be worried about that. We've never done that as a country.
Well, okay, but Chris, honest to God, like, we all know here on this podcast right now, it's going to come down to the final hour, government shutdown, what are we going to do? And they're going to raise the fucking debt ceiling.
That's true. They do it all the time.
Bitch asses. I just don't want to know what the stock market will do if we default. That's if
1929 ring a bell.
Well, that's what I'm saying. History BA. Yeah. Chart how our economy performance is tied to how the stock market does. That's just how it works in the United States. That's the system we've set up. The way our stock market goes is where our economy goes. If we default, that's never happened before. Who the fuck? Yeah, we could have something like 1929 happen because everyone can just go, I'm taking all my money out of the stock market, and that's how that shit happens.
Our most global commodities and resources, are they traded in American dollars?
Some of them.
Like oil. But is it, because I'm just wondering, because if like, let's just say Armageddon happens and we are slammed into 1929 type fucking hellscape, I imagine the world is going to go, yeah, that sucks for America. What are we using as the common currency? Because we can't use the American dollar because it ain't worth shit now. I mean, do they go over to...
Well, there's different foreign markets.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do they go to China's money? Do they go to... I mean,
right,
I don't imagine
strongest currency,
I don't imagine
right?
they go to the... they don't go to the EU, right? The euro?
Yeah,
really?
The euro.
Yeah, be the next strongest currency, more likely.
Even with all the Brexit bullshit? I mean, I'm just like, that's what makes me wonder about these businesses. The Canadian money and hockey and Tim Hortons is going to fuel the world. Is what it's going to be. Yes. The loony and the toonie and Timbits. That's what's going to save fucking
Timbits. Well, hey, we're in Michigan. We'll be good.
Oh, I mean, we're already fucking. We're in Metro Detroit. We're Canada South. We're good. You know what I'm saying? We're Windsor South.
We'll be Tim billionaires, right? We'll hoard the Timbits and we'll just fucking we'll be the kings of our block.
I'm telling you, no bullshit. I have given up on the stock market when they started trading fucking I can't even think what it's called. The coin the Bitcoin, you're trading in something that doesn't exist.
We've been doing it with our money since the 30s.
That's what I'm saying. Like before
No, I mean,
we get
it literally doesn't exist.
We've been doing it with our money since the 30s.
Now, I can hold a paper dollar, Holmes. I can't hold a fucking Bitcoin.
I'm saying the gold standard. Dude,
oh my God! Please, guys, no!
Yeah, right.
I can't. Like,
no, I'm not going.
Earl, you got the concept. You got the concept of like money in the bank you can't hold, right? And you never see. You can earn it, spend it, and it be gone, and never physically touch it.
I'm about to get a tax return where I have seen like none of that money. I've never seen. It's all just been numbers that have transferred over. I can do the same thing with my crypto. I can go withdraw it and turn it into cash if I want. That's how it goes.
Well, come on. Yeah, no, come on. The semantical arguments that get us nowhere. The point's been made. Move on. Let's go.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jess.
Just let him think.
No, I'm with you, Chris. I don't know why people are not paying more attention to this. Not that it would make a damn bit of difference and we could pay attention and we could be mad or we could ignore it and the exact same thing's going to happen as if we paid attention to it. But still, like, damn, you know?
Yeah, and it's just, this is one of those things, throwing it back to the top of the show while we're arguing about documents, right? This is perhaps maybe one of the things we should be paying attention to.
Yeah, but...
Now, Mike Pence documents is way more important than the debt ceiling.
Or Joe Biden documents. Or who gives a fuck? I'm sure Jimmy Carter's got documents. He don't even fucking know because he's 90.
There was documents buried with Reagan, I promise.
That's a motherfucker who definitely didn't know when he died. Right?
What are you doing with these classified... wiping my ass? I don't know. What documents? What are you talking about?
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? The New Jersey courts are hiring. Make a difference doing work that matters. With competitive salaries, pension, benefits, on-the-job training, partial remote work, and paid holidays. Apply now at njcourts.gov/careers.
When you hire your local CertaPro painters, you get the power of doing it right. Detailed project proposals, excellent customer service, and trusted professionals who get the job done on time and on budget. The power of experience. We're kings of the scaffolding and pros with the stucco. We've been there, done that. Get your project started at CertaPro.com and get the power of pro.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
When you hire your local CertaPro painters, you get the power of a cut above. Decades of expertise to transform your home. From so-so to virtuoso. The power of neighborhood painters. We live where you live and probably like the same pizza place you do. Put the power of pro to work for you today. Get your project started at CertaPro.com.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Are you looking for a rewarding new career? The New Jersey courts are hiring. Make a difference doing work that matters. With competitive salaries, pension, benefits, on-the-job training, partial remote work, and paid holidays. Apply now at njcourts.gov/careers.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Well, on the topic of government bright ideas, we have the launch of the Welcome Corps, private sponsorship of refugees.
Oh, tell Earl what the Welcome Corps is, Jeff.
The Welcome Corps is basically where we have so many refugees coming in that the government thought it would be a good idea if instead of them handling the refugees and funding them and putting them up, that the generosity of the American people, you can like adopt a refugee.
You can buy a brown person.
This sounds vaguely familiar.
Hey,
for 50 cents a day, you can feed little Haji.
Oh no, that's not where I was heading.
Last week we were asking, hey, what do you do about the border? Here you go. The government's saying, hey, you do it.
Yep.
Wait, no. I was thinking more along the lines of buy a brown person when they come off the boat. Sounds very vaguely familiar.
Isn't this kind of like sponsorship? That's what we're calling it. But yeah.
But just
do they come to your house?
The details have not been hashed out yet.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm thinking, because at this point you skipped right over slavery and went to indentured servitude.
Well, is this just like foreign exchange student, just not a student?
Well, hold on. I have a question. This Welcome Corps, is this ultimately it doesn't matter. The Uniparty's going to get their way. But Is this a Biden idea, a Biden administration idea, or is this a leftover from previous administration idea?
It's a press release from the White House, isn't it, Jess?
Yes, from the U.S. Department of State.
Well, I know going back as far as the State of the Union in 2003 or 4, Bush has been calling, and Obama brought it up a few times. I think Trump might have brought it up once, one of the states of the union, about like floating the idea of like some sort of. I think at one point it was like W said 2 years of volunteer service for student loan forgiveness or something like that, and then they started riffing on it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, and it was like, join the Peace Corps. You don't have to join the military. Oh, well, here we have the Welcome Corps to do what the government is telling us that they can afford, and we can totally do this. But somehow we have to fucking volunteer and give money to people because the government, who totally said that they can do this and handle this, can't handle these people.
I would love to sponsor one, but I'm joining the Space Force bio.
Let me just read y'all the first paragraph of this launch of the Welcome Corps. The Department of State, in collaboration with the Department of Health and Human Services, is pleased to announce the creation of the Welcome Corps, a new private sponsorship program that empowers everyday Americans to play a leading role in welcoming refugees arriving through the U.S. Refugee Admission Program and supporting their resettlement and integration as they build new lives in the United States. Over the past year, the American people have extended an extraordinarily welcoming hand to our Afghan allies, Ukrainians displaced by war, and Venezuelans and others fleeing violence and oppression. The Welcome Corps will build on Americans' generosity of spirit by creating a durable program for Americans and communities across the country to privately sponsor refugees from around the world. The Welcome Corps is the boldest innovation in refugee resettlement in 4 decades.
Okay.
Privately sponsor means give someone money.
No, I get it now. Pelosi and Biden are going, will somebody get these fuckers away from my house?
Yes, dude. The same politicians who said, "Oh, America, the land of plenty, we're built on welcoming immigrants, and diversity is our strength, but none of that shit in my backyard. And by the way, we ain't gonna pay for it, even though we're the government. You gotta pay for it. You have to give out of your money."
Thanks, George Carlin. Nibby, not in my backyard.
And which one is it? Biden administration? Is everyone broke, or is everybody doing well?
Two things can be true at the same time, but I don't expect a politician to admit that, because the cagey fuckers, you can't even nail down on what color black is. Well, what shade of black are we talking? Or really, asshole?
Or what
really,
a woman is?
Cocksucking motherfucker. Yeah, exactly. Officious cocksucking pricks. I can't stand them motherfuckers. Well, technically my ass. Okay, we know. Come on now. Grow the fuck up. Yeah. Sorry.
Well, Richard, maybe you would know the answer to that question if you were able to take advanced African American studies in Florida, okay?
I did. I went to high school in
Florida. Buzzing.
Fucking everybody in Florida is black.
I mean, I could argue the high school I went to, I also had African American studies for a few years.
But it's not advanced. It's not AP.
Yes. Ron DeSantis said no AP African American studies in Florida.
Okay, I'm trying to understand, like, why is, like, I know what AP courses are, essentially gifted, but we can't say that because that implies somebody isn't gifted. We can't have that. But like, I don't remember like very specialized courses like this in high school. And I was in gifted classes because I'm old. We didn't call it AP. So yeah. And it's just like this. How many schools in Florida are teaching this shit? Because I was in AP classes in Florida.
This is a new program that's being rolled out, and I think, the course is being rolled out in a pilot program by the U.S. College Board to 60 high schools across the country.
Why is it advanced African American studies? Like, what exactly?
I mean, that's the thing. My high school at the end, like senior year, that was a course you could take.
Oh, okay. There you go. See,
not AP, but African American studies was a course you could take.
See, to me, it's just so weird because that seems like a college level, like niche course. That seems like something like taking I want to learn Sanskrit. Sure,
Not
go
a black
learn a
high
dead
school,
language.
buddy.
But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Like, and yeah, the school I went to, I think it was something like 60% black, like 25-30% Latino, and then like the rest was other, but mostly white. There was a few Asian kids and Indian kids.
I'd say we were good half and half.
I went to Deion Sanders High School when I was in Florida.
The course is part of a broader AP program in U.S. high schools, which gives students the chance to take college-level courses before graduation.
Okay, so is there more than just advanced African American studies that they have listed?
Not in this specific article, no.
Okay, I'm going to have to just, and I guess the only thing I really could say is I'm going to default to Morgan Freeman. African American studies is American studies. I don't understand.
Yes and no. There is, dude. Come on. There's a different history there. I mean, African American history doesn't really start here till a certain period of time. If you get my drift. There was definitely a different experience until probably about 1964.
This specific class covers more than 400 years of African American history, touching on topics like literature, political science, and geography.
What the fuck? 400. The country is 200 years old.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like, if this is like a study of the cultures, the kingdoms, and the countries of the continent of Africa, and it's a class on that,
then it's African studies, not African American studies.
But I understand they're going to couch it as African American studies because it's America and we love us some us. So we're going to do that. Like, it's what I'm saying. Like, take your political biases out of it for a second. And I mean, like, if that's the case, then yeah, I got a problem with someone cutting it off.
And some could argue some African Americans love them some African Americans. I'll say it.
But no, I mean, if it's truly a study on like if it was a study, not a study, but a class on like I said, like that stretch of history, and I mean, yeah, starting in the continent of Africa, and then, yeah, of course the slave trade is going to be in there. Now, here's the thing: are they going to teach that they were capturing other villagers and shit like that because I mean, like, I know the popular story is that white people hopped on a boat and just kind of motored on over to Africa and hopped off and just ran around the continent with nets catching people, and we're like, hey, we got us some darkies, we're going to sell them now. But that ain't what the fuck happened at all.
That was exactly where I was heading, Rich. Is this going to be a true African history study or just the good bits?
But what I'm saying,
that's exactly it, Rich.
A statement by a spokesperson for Florida's Republican Governor DeSantis says the course, quote, leaves large, ambiguous gaps that can be filled with additional ideological material, which we will not allow. If the College Board amends the course to comply and provides a full course curriculum and incorporates historically accurate content, then the department will reconsider the course for approval.
Okay, there it is. Yeah. Either do it like it's meant to be done or don't do it at all.
Well,
absolutely.
Because if you further read in the article, he's not been provided a curriculum. He's been provided we're still figuring it out.
So figure it out, and then I'll let you know.
Yes.
What are we talking? What are you talking to me for? You're letting me. You're calling me to let me know that you intend to call me later. You don't need to call me. Just call me.
Right. It's one of those. What did she do wrong? Well, she should have done this and that. No, she should have texted. She shouldn't have left a message at all. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I mean, like, let's be honest here. The problem is that there's going to be teachers that are going to teach it from a certain perspective and a certain angle and a certain spin and slant on it. I think the days of us being completely lying to ourselves should be over with. I don't know that it is. You think that teachers aren't teaching from their own personal bias? You're out of your fucking mind.
Well, I mean, some of them definitely do, but some of them give it straight. I've had them both ways.
That's their personal bias.
And that's also you who are like 30 years removed from the educational system. We're talking about right now. We're talking about there's millennials in the classroom thinking everything. I mean, but you know what? No, because you know what? I remember my big problem was my one semester I spent in the university system was I was learning everybody's opinion. I was like, what the fuck? There's like, you made me buy these books. Could we perhaps get to the material in these books? I remember on a college campus in 1997 going, I'm learning everyone's opinion except the math teacher because it was math. But I'm like, I'm learning everyone's opinion on this subject.
Absolutely. And I'm definitely biased because I was, speaking of when I was teaching in Kalamazoo public schools, trying to teach them about Nazi Germany, and the principal met with me after class and was like, Earl, no. We have a very straightforward, cut and dry, teach this. And I'm like, but that's not, no, sir. That is what you're teaching. I'll take the buyout. Thanks. Take care.
No,
so,
I don't.
Jess,
dude, all I know is that teaching the syllabus is a thing that, yes, certain schools are fucking sticklers for. But I also have talked to enough people who I know who just happen to be teachers. I don't know them as teachers. So I know them as, and I know that this is stupid to say, but it needs to be said for some people, as real people, not teachers. And yes, every single one of them teach from their fucking bias. The thing is that they think their bias is the right one. And those aren't good teachers. They might pass along information factually, but they're not teaching you anything except for how to sit there and absorb what the fuck you're being told and agree with it on a test.
The goal of teaching is the transfer of information.
Yeah, Jess, I think with that, you just want a friend of Daddy D, because that's very, very interesting that he's taken that approach to it. Because one of the biggest problems with this class I see is it's going to go against one of the biggest fights this country has faced for, 200 years. That white people hate black people and we only see them as property. The Confederate flag, all of that would be in jeopardy if they learn exactly what happened, where this all started from.
Who the fuck? Okay, first of all, where the fuck? Okay, okay? Are you saying this is how other people feel? Is this what you're telling me right now? What you just said? Were you paraphrasing how other people feel, or is this how you feel?
How I feel about what? What is your question?
The statement you just made.
Okay, the statement I just made was there's going to be a huge fucking problem in this country regarding slavery if people figure out what exactly happened the real way.
Why would that be a problem? Because it's common knowledge.
Because the biggest fucking fight in this country is black versus white. Now, you could say Mexican taking the jobs or the immigrants or...
Dude, I get all that, okay?
Okay.
You're acting like the truth ain't available, and it is.
No, I'm not saying that I'm acting that way. What I'm saying is it's not taught that way. It has never been taught that way. You go into a history class, nobody ever talks about how Africans captured Africans. They talk about how white men showed up on ships and left with black people in the hull. And the ones that didn't die in the hull became slaves and property. They don't tell the truth.
There is a grain of truth to what you're saying, Earl. There was a movie out last year with Viola Davis.
The Warrior King.
And
the Warrior Queen or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, and I remember reading about it that it wasn't like the big woke masterpiece that they were hoping. It didn't go over like they thought it would.
It's like the Homie tribe. They sold captured fucking enemies into slavery to white slavers and Middle Eastern slavers.
Because they told the truth in the movie, and apparently the woke crowd it didn't translate.
Right, and what he said, he being DeSantis, is that's where woke goes to die, is Florida. So I'm kind of believing him a little bit.
My thing is, okay. Dude, I had teachers who told me that white people were the cause of all the world's problems since the beginning of recorded history. And then I had teachers who I could tell wanted to rip down the American flag and put up a fucking Nazi flag. Okay. And I had everything in between, dude.
Oh yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. Like this whole like, well, if people knew the truth, and that's not how it's taught. Do you understand that there are
an AP. Advanced college course.
How many fucking ultra-conservative college professors do you know of? A few. Okay, meaning on one hand and fingers left over. Yes, I believe that. I believe it's that few. Yes, I do. So, dude, what bias do you think this shit's getting taught in? This is what I'm saying.
I'm telling you that the establishment, be it the high school, public school, the college, whatever you want to call it, wherever a history is being taught, a historical study, advanced African American studies, whatever, they won't let you tell the entire truth because it goes against what the establishment the government wants you to believe. White people bad, enslaved black people, and that's where we are today. And that's why the race riots happened. That's why the 60 happened. They don't tell you about the slave trade, the way how the black people were like, so you want this one, you don't want that one. Where
dude, you're talking about a framing problem, and dude, the facts are the facts. People did horrible people did horrible shit to other horrible people.
I understand, Rich, but most people won't sit there and tell you that it was black people and not white people. They'll only focus on white people. Bad.
Okay. Well, my point is that you're ignoring, and I'm not going to repeat it after this. And if you ignore it again after this, then that's on you, and I'm done. You guys can continue on this topic. I'll be quiet till the next topic because I'm not going to do this. Okay? Dude, not everybody is getting taught from the same fucking perspective, but you can almost guarantee. This is what I don't understand. We're pretty much agreeing, dude.
No,
I don't understand why you're fucking arguing with me.
Because I'm not arguing with you. It's because the school systems have completely changed, Rich. I was a teacher. Okay. And here's my biggest problem. It wasn't about black and white and all that. It was about Nazi Germany. When I was trying to teach about Nazi Germany and them telling me, this is how we're going to do it. This is all you got to teach. We're not letting, all of this real shit in. No. Hitler, bad. Nazi, bad. Move on.
Was this a public school?
Yes.
You expected something different?
I expected to be able to teach my class. And
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I don't know if I'd let you in a room with my kid talking about Nazis. And I'm not joking. You can laugh if you want.
I'm not.
Because I don't know what the fuck were you saying that fucking...
Because everybody wants to say... Class. Everybody wants to say Hitler was the worst person in Nazi Germany. I gave a final that after...
Oh my God, this is one of those Earl things. I get it now. I get it. Okay.
I gave a semester on teaching Nazi Germany, and my final was they had to write a history paper to tell me who was the worst person they think in Nazi Germany during World War II. Give me facts, times, dates. I want to make sure they got the important parts. And the establishment, as they were, Kalamazoo Public Schools, came to me and told me, no, Hitler, bad. Nazi, bad. Move on. Okay. So I just don't know if it's I'm hoping, and from DeSantis, what he's saying, it looks like he's taking a different tact, and where woke goes to die, quote unquote. So hopefully, with the advanced African American study class and anything else that way, it's taught correctly. That's all I'm asking. It's just okay. This is the history. This is what happened. Take it as you will.
I just know every time I read about Ron DeSantis, the tone of the article is, he's like, Trump Jr., Trump with a better haircut, Trump light, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then I really don't disagree with what they're talking. He said he did or said or whatever. Like,
I'm going to have to disagree with you because I highly doubt that Trump even went to high school.
Well, all the articles, too, are trying to frame DeSantis as he's setting himself up to run for president. Be aware.
I mean, he looks like it.
Yeah, that too.
He looks like someone who'd run for president. He's got that look.
I mean, he does, but he's also said, he doesn't have an intention of it at this point.
Because he's going to be Trump's running mate.
I don't believe that.
It's what we were talking about last show when we were talking about the statue. They're tearing down all of these other old statues, Robert E. Lee, all the Confederate, yada, yada, yada. And then they make one of the biggest people ever in history, and of this country anyway, and they absolutely fucking hate it. So it's that type of shit that just bugs the shit out of me.
By the way, real quick, the statue last week, I have since seen other angles since the show. That looks like a giant dick.
That's what I'm saying. Like no joke. This is dick jokes are incoming. Do not get it wrong. But this is not a joke. From the right angle, it looks like a dick. Jess. And from a different angle, it looks like he's holding the hands, the disembodied, the they. Now I'll call those things they, and that and them, they are holding a giant turd in other angles.
The angle I had, it kind of looked like a heart. I didn't see all that elongation, and then I saw like, whoa, it's like, yeah, that's someone holding a dong.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah. Metaphorically, I look at that statue and I'm just dying, laughing inside. You hate all the statues of history, regardless of how you felt about it. It's fucking history. And then the one person that we can all agree on had a huge, huge part in our history. You hate his statue too. Motherfucker, you just hate statues. Go away.
I have to say, I watched a video after we recorded about that statue, and they had, I think it was Don Lemon was interviewing the artist, and one of the bureaucratic assholes who commissioned this thing, and they were talking about how it went through like 100 people, and nobody saw these obscene things that everyone else saw. And I'm just going, everybody saw it. No one had the heart to tell you, dude.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the fuck happened.
Yep. People are smart, or a person is smart. People are stupid.
Well, it's not even that, dude. I mean, yes, dude, good quote. And you love to ride shit into the fucking ground when you get on it, but not applicable here. This is just a case of, dude, too much money was spent, and they were like, we put 10 million in this. What do we got? Oh, fuck. Shit. We can't erase that. Delete. Can we cut and paste it? Can we do something?
Tear down
something?
The statue of Martin Luther King? No. No, you can't.
It was very much literally a case of that artist was sitting there like, I don't see how anyone could. And I'm just going, is this guy functionally retarded? Like, I could understand not seeing it because you're the creator, but once people fucking pointed it out, especially in the meme form that pretty much laid it out to where anybody could get what they were, oh, that does look like that.
I can't buy as an artist.
Head, the words "aw shit" came up.
I can't buy as an artist. He never went, man, that kind of looks like a dick.
Like a dick. Yeah, maybe he's gay.
Is he just that far up his own ass? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he drew it and saw it at one angle and didn't see it after it went to 3D.
Well, anyways, enough about this. I just thought it was fucking hilarious. And then Don Lemon sitting there all dead serious through it. And I'm just going, dude, they got to be paying you a lot of money, and you got to be on a lot of downers to sit there and keep that poker face.
Be like,
because
that looks like a dick.
He'd be like, yeah, dude, a gamer word? Are you serious? That's what he would, what the word he would. Take them cameras away, Don. I bet you Don Lemon gets a little hood in him real quick. Right. Is what I'm saying. Like you know what I'm saying? Like real quick.
N-word, that's a dick.
But all right. But real quick, I want to bring this up because you said DeSantis running and this and that. Now, I mean, do you guys think he has a chance if he runs, or do you think Trump is still the front runner?
Notice how him and Trump aren't jabbing at each other. Just putting it out there.
DeSantis doesn't have any documents that we know of yet.
Oh, give it time. He's just not in the spotlight enough
and
right
yes,
now.
Rich, I've heard a poll this week to Trump would beat Biden. So allegedly, yes.
Because here's where it's like I'm going to get a little conspiratorial in the podcast. This is where my three-piece tinfoil suit comes out. I've been talking about how the press has been like really stoking the fires of this potential civil war in the Republican Party. And it seemed like this Trump and DeSantis thing was going to be the big like catalyst for it. And it's kind of, I let you guys talk. I let you say what you said. I don't feel like I was leading you. And you pretty much said, no, it doesn't seem like that anymore. And I mean, like, what happened since like the Trump DeSantis tension and the media was like, this could be a problem in the Republican Party. You had the midterm elections. It was supposed to be the red wave. And they're like, that wasn't a red wave. And I'm like, yeah, it was the same as your blue wave in 2018 that you took victory laps. And they're still taking victory laps over. Whatever. That didn't cripple the Republican Party. Now you have Steven Crowder and Daily Wire beefing in public over his contract to go to the Daily Wire. And this has got fucking like the Republicans and the fucking the Trumpers and the DeSantis fans all at each other's throats. And I mean, like, this is not even mainstream media pushing the narrative of, oh, this is going to cause a division in the Republican Party. This is the Republican pundits going, this is causing and has caused a division in the Republican Party. So I'm wondering, is this kind of a this kind of like temporary ceasefire, we'll call it at best, between Trump and DeSantis, is because of, hey man, it's kind of like you can't be president over scorched earth.
They're going to be running mates.
They're probably going to be running mates, but you have to understand that the whole fucking government has become so good at tearing each other down during running that sometimes they like me, they run out the mouth before they think about it. And then they tear each other down so far that, yeah, okay, great, you beat them this time, but now you fucked it up and they can't run anymore because of everything you've shown and said. Hillary Clinton for the Democrats is a very good example. Hillary Clinton was absolutely going to be president. 110% was going to be president over Trump. Ask everybody, they'll tell you. Right? And then she got so tore down and so exposed and everything, and Obama beat her, right? That when she went against Trump, they were like, that woman, are you out of your fucking mind? So yeah, Rich, I think this is definitely a ceasefire and stop tearing down our only hope to go forward.
I think
because we're killing our fucking party.
I think anyone with a brain in Trump's camp has gotten in his ear and played to his ego and said, hey, you want to be president again? That's your boy. That's your running mate. Play nice with that guy.
Yep.
Maybe. I don't know that I buy it.
You should love this.
No, listen,
Ultimate
I do.
Daddy D. Big Daddy D.
Here's the deal. I've now heard both of y'all's opinion about this. I want to know what Jess's opinion, because you carry the most water for DeSantis out of us all.
On him being Trump's running mate?
Yeah, the whole situation. I mean, real short and concise. The Florida thing, I think maybe from a technicality standpoint, if it was some crazy stuff, it was the right move. From an optic standpoint, it's going to look bad on a national scale.
Right.
But besides that, like the seeming ceasefire between him and Trump, yeah. I mean, do you think it's real? Do you think there is even a ceasefire? Do you think what's up?
I've fallen, even just since starting the show with you guys, I've fallen so far away from from giving a shit about politics. I feel like it's all a big dog and pony show.
And a girl.
And that they're going to do whatever the fuck they're going to do. They're over here saying we fucking hate you, tweeting out while sipping beers together and
We've ruined another one.
Yep.
No, I forget what broke me. It was it wasn't y'all. It was something that happened. And I don't believe any of it. I don't think, and I hope I'm wrong, I think it'd be cool to see Trump and DeSantis run. It'd at least be entertaining to watch the memers run with that one and watch the news try to tear him down. And what dirt do we have on Daddy D that would have to come to light? But, I don't think it's going to. I think probably they're more poised to split the Republican Party, honestly, and give Biden the best chance of getting reelected in the next election cycle.
Jess, do you think that classified documents in Mar-a-Lago was to shut Trump up and leave DeSantis alone so he could run in 2024? Because obviously we've shown with Biden and Pence recently, everybody's got documents. It's not anything suspicious, but he's been fighting those fights and others.
I think that anyone that they catch wind of that is going to run on the Republican side right now, I think I could take my dog and I could present my dog as running Republican, and my dog would be able to get more votes than Biden. And so I think that the media is going to take anyone who is an opposition and try to get as many people to dislike the opposition, because that's kind of what they've been playing on for several presidential election cycles, is not what I can do, but look at what a piece of shit this guy is. But they've been going really hard at that, and that's what they credited Biden's win to. was, well, it's not so much that everyone loved Biden, it's just that many people hated Trump. So I think that's going to be the spin that's put on this, is like, well, how do we...
74 million? That's... Sorry.
No.
Where were you guys at? This was a stolen election.
Yeah, I don't buy it, but that's just me. Call me whatever you want to
4 million
call.
people is people hating Trump? Okay.
I don't
No,
believe,
that means it was stolen, fucker.
I don't believe the number.
January 6th.
I don't fucking believe it. And
Okay, well, hold on, because you did bring up a good point, and it's getting glossed over before we get into the land of fucking conspiracy theory, which is the dirty little secret of American politics is that if you have nothing to run on or offer, you attack your opponent. And that's always been kind of like a thing that's been done, but they try to act like they're not doing it. But you brought up a good point. With Biden and Trump, I think that was the first time I can ever remember on that big of a fucking, on a national scale, literally the media, people going, he's not Trump.
Mhm.
I mean, he's not. I mean, like, I've heard, like, back when Bush was up for, like, when W was up for re-election, it was ABB, anybody but Bush, that type shit. But they still had a semblance of, like, or at least a veneer of, I really like Kerry, or I really like Edwards, or whoever their fucking candidate was. You know what I'm saying? Like, with Biden, it was just like, he's the one who can beat Trump.
Yes.
That's why we like him. That's it. And it was unabashedly that. And
Yeah,
that is
he
how
was there
cynical.
before, he can be there again. Yep.
That is how cynical we've gotten about our politics in this country. And believe me, if I'm noticing it, the people at the top have already noticed it, noted it, and found ways to exploit it. 10 ways to Sunday.
Yeah, Rich, you were absolutely right. It was such a thing that Biden was kept under wraps. He barely went out and rallied or anything.
Well, also remember 2020, because I also wonder how 2024 is going to turn out when everyone's not scared to go outside again.
Well, also remember, like, the debates and shit. What was the meme points? Because there are no more talking points; they're meme points. What was the meme points made? It was the Biden being snarky and pissy and saying and telling Trump to shut up. Basically, half the country got catharsis because Grandpa told off the mean guy who says shit they don't like on Twitter. I mean, that's basically what everyone clung to about those fucking debates with him and Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And flies landed on shit and didn't move.
But I mean, I didn't even think about that until you said it, but it's true. It's true. It was so cynically and unabashedly in our face done, and nobody's upset. And I kind of feel like it's the old bagless trick when you're going to fuck a bitch without a rubber for the first time, and you're like, you just go in, you're like, well, she'll stop me. Oh, shall we gonna die? Oh, we dirty bitch.
And because they don't want people mad at them for doing it, they go, it wasn't us, it was the Russians.
Well, that's the now that boogeyman's been put to bed, so it's going to be what? North Korean bots?
Iran, dude, come on.
Iran bots instead of Russian bots? Yeah. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jess. It was just such a good point. I did not want it to get lost, and thank you for making it because it slipped. I missed it.
No, that's pretty much it with that. I think that anyone who comes out to run against Biden, if Trump's like, you know what, I'm dropping out, DeSantis is like, abso-fucking-lutely not. I don't want any part in this. And they run my dog, right? Then all of the sudden we're going to be talking about that time my dog chewed up $5. That's illegal. Look at these hidden documents under the dog bed.
In the doghouse? Oh my God.
Right.
Jess, get those out of there.
One time she is on video barking at a black person, didn't bark at the white person, walked down the street afterwards. Racist dog.
Well, don't raise a racist
It's a black dog, for fuck's sake.
She's a kennel dog, okay?
Dogs are reflections of their owner, Jess.
She's a kennel dog.
And here's what I want to know. How come when I lived in Detroit, the next door neighbors had a fucking dog, and the next door neighbors were like they were like the Snipes family dog, right? And their dog hated other black people but loved them. Loved me.
I defer to a Chris Rock routine we cannot quote.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Maybe that dog was like that.
Next topic. Before we get pulled down from half of our fucking platforms. I didn't think about that angle.
Maybe that dog could just sniff him out.
Well, are we done with Daddy D? Leaving him till next week?
Are you done with Daddy D?
Oh, someone had to say it.
I am never done with Daddy D.
Oh, gross.
So,
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Alec Baldwin is being charged with, is it manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter?
Yeah, good. That's what regular people would be charged with, right?
Right. This happened in 2001, right?
No, it happened last year. Or like 2 years ago now, right?
That would be, I'm sorry, I'm 2021. Sorry.
God, I was going to say, I wish 2 years ago was 2001.
Right?
I'm going to Vegas. All the money in the world I own on the Red Sox to win it in 2004. Thank you very much. I'll be poor for a few years, but then I'm going to be high. I'm going to be up. Anyway, sorry.
No.
Yeah, that's the best comment I saw on any of the articles, which was, it was essentially the same sentiment that Chris said. It was, that's what any of us would have been charged with. That's all we can ask.
Yeah, because let's be honest, his penalty ain't going to be what we'd get because he's got Alec Baldwin money.
But if you were a CEO, but not Alec Baldwin, but you had CEO money, you would get the same thing Alec Baldwin would get.
No, Alec Baldwin's probably, I'm saying Alec Baldwin's probably going to get like probation till like he dies.
Oh, no, Alec Baldwin's going to get the rich and famous discount. Whereas a CEO would just get like the rich discount. Like, because remember, if you're vice president, apparently you could shoot someone in the face on a hunting trip and they just go, hey, get out the way next time the vice president swings a barrel your way.
I think the CEO would do time, but he'd go to like Club Fed. Like he'd do a little bit of time and then a ton of probation. Like I don't think Alec Baldwin sees inside of a jail cell ever.
I don't think so. Not on this one. Just for the simple fact that he's an actor. He was handed a gun, told it was a cold set, meaning that there's no live ammunition on the set, let alone on the gun.
Set. Yes, and there was supposedly no live weapons. All of them had either been barrel plugged or deactivated. Supposedly, what a cold set means.
And the other tricky part for Alec is he was the producer, so he's not only an actor, he was the guy in charge of the whole shebang bang.
And let me tell you something. Like, as far as how serious that's taken, it really seems to be how serious the people around that situation take it. Because there was a VFW that got a tank to put out front when I was a kid in my neighborhood, and that tank, you could go in, like they hadn't welded the hatch shut. You could go in, you could do this, and they had to have security guards out for like the overnight because the city was like, because they were like, the city was like, if anyone gets in that tank and moves it, we're charging you as if you did it. So I mean, like this is like so they took it seriously. So if there was if there were live rounds and working firearms being passed around on a set that supposedly is completely a cold set, somebody was fucking around. And if it's not Alec Baldwin,
it was the armor.
Then they need to be charged with like not negligent homicide, but like or wait a minute. Yes, negligent homicide, not involuntary manslaughter.
Yep.
Well, the armor is being charged also.
Like somebody died, right? Like there needs to be consequences for someone here.
I mean, yeah, this is one of those situations where it's like, look, man, it sucks. I don't care if you hate Alec Baldwin, if you love Alec Baldwin. I truly don't believe Alec Baldwin meant to kill that woman.
Yeah, he didn't wake up today and say, I'm killing a coworker.
Yep. Like, he didn't even wake up and say, I'm going to fucking put a coworker in the hospital that day. I guarantee that much. So, let alone kill somebody. So,
well, I mean, this isn't the first time that this happened when somebody died either. Brandon Lee, the son of Bruce Lee. The Crow, the movie The Crow was in 93. Was set to have the same thing. It was supposed to be like a blank round or whatever. Turns out it was a live round.
I think that one was all the blanks were like, weren't they all like clumped together or some shit?
And also blanks can shoot something out of the barrel that can puncture and go and enter your body and cause damage. And that's exactly what happened. It was just a clusterfuck of the right situation if they're close enough. And the scene was, he was just close enough to where that happened. It was supposed to be a blank and part of the I don't know, the cap instead of the slug hit him and killed him. And it's like, it's a freak accident. But I mean, like, this has happened in Hollywood movies before. I mean, there's been people that died on the set of Wizard of Oz. There's people, Vic Morrow died filming the Twilight Zone movie in the 80s. Like a helicopter
chopped his head off, didn't it?
Yeah, chopped him and the kid actor and another actor up the blades. I mean, it decapitated him, but it cut them all up.
Now, what I think is going against Baldwin is everybody that I've heard talk about this that was on the set said there was many accidents on the set. The safety precautions and measures were not taken seriously at all, which you were just talking about, Rich. And so, and the first thing you're supposed to do when you're handed a gun, any gun, a fucking water gun, is check it out. So it is on him. And any safety course you ever take about a gun tells you, check that gun. So it is on him to have checked and made sure that it is in fact a Colt gun. And the fact that he didn't, I think, is where we're at, and that's why he's charged.
Well, one of the this is pure speculation I heard on some random fucking clip of a podcast that I saw online, but they were talking about the situation. And they were like, and I have heard this, that since COVID has hit, Hollywood has went, like, the safety people in Hollywood, COVID is their new fucking cash cow. That's like sexual harassment for the HR fucking crowd. Oh baby, we're going to make money off of this. Please sexually harass someone at work. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So when COVID hit, they're like, oh God, so that's their focus. And other areas are starting to be obviously overlooked. This is what they were saying on the podcast. I don't know how accurate or if they even know what they're talking about, but I mean, it was a podcast that purported to have insider information and people in the industry. So I can't remember the name. If I think of it, I'll say it before the end of the show. But I mean, and if that's a possibility at this case, at this point, I'm just like, here you go. This is when people go, what's all this fucking bullshit? What's it really fucking We got a whole industry so caught up in that you better wear your fucking mask that does absolutely nothing, that they're not bothering to check to see if there's live rounds on the set. Now someone's dead.
Well, I also read that this was a rookie armorer. So she was just trying to get, a foothold in the business and make a name, and this happened. You're done. You're going to jail.
Oops. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, this smacks to me of a situation of a perfect storm of horse shit coming together and some very unfortunate, a very unfortunate outcome. Because, like I said, I have no fucking love for Alec Baldwin. I mean, like, he's a decent enough actor, but as a human being, he seems kind of like a dick.
Yeah, like a fan of his work, and not a fan of him, like, as a human being.
I don't know, maybe if he is a dick, maybe I'd like him then. I don't know. But, I mean, I don't, like I said, I just don't think he did it on purpose. And I know he's very anti-Trump. He's very fucking liberal, blah, 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 blah. But, like, the whole hope he goes to jail and gets his fucking cheeks busted by the fucking sisters in prison. And I'm just like,
nah.
Dude, because why? Because he did a Trump impression on Saturday Night Live that you didn't like? Like, dude, there's bigger fucking issues than your political sensibilities being ruffled. Okay? Someone's dead. Grow the fuck up, people. Seriously.
For real.
Yeah. You took the words right out of my mouth, though. Jess, we got one more.
We have
bully.
Well, before we go to the bully, we have the neighbor who sues over the smell of weed.
Where's this happening?
Hold on. Did it say where it was happening?
Is this a Michigan thing?
I think it was, I want to say Washington State.
Yeah, no, D.C. It was in D.C.
Oh, it was D.C. Okay, yes. Washington. There you go.
Is it legal in D.C.?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, your fault. You should have voted.
Yep, they're saying it's a public nuisance and that she should have, the neighbor who was complaining about the smell of weed, should have the right to breathe fresh air. It's causing her to lose sleep at night, which I just don't believe.
Go buy a fan, bitch. Open a window.
Insulate your shit.
That it's legal now, so she can't just call and bust her neighbor. So, like, get her information and never move next door to this woman. Cleaning doesn't help. And anyone who's been around weed knows smoke can be powerful. It affects her everyday life.
I want to move next to this bitch because it sounds like this bitch is getting secondhand good shit.
Right?
How much money would you save, Chris? Like, imagine living next to Snoop Dogg and just having a direct ventilation from his house to yours.
Right?
Like,
so much money.
The other side you had Willie Nelson, and in front and behind Cheech and Chong, bro.
Dear God.
You'd be in a fucking weed-induced coma.
Oh, yeah.
That would be great. But here's my thing. The very fucking people who were arguing about the right to smoke, now want to fucking go to the government and go, well, they're smoking and it's bothering. Well, motherfucker, you live in an apartment. And if you've never lived in an apartment, first of all, congratulations and how. But second of all, that's to be expected. You're going to hear your neighbors fuck, fight, fart, shit, shower, shave. You're going to smell everything they fucking cook, do, or cook then smoke. I mean, it's just how it is.
Well, I mean, that was my first question, Rich. What if, take weed out of it, put in a grill? What if I only cook on a grill? I don't own a stove, I own a grill, and I'm outside and I'm cooking. Are you going to be mad because I'm cooking something that you hate the smell out of, or you just don't like the smoke that it produces?
Yes.
But it's my right to cook and eat.
Right. Have y'all ever cooked a homemade curry at home?
Oh, yeah.
Neighbors used to it, but the old apartment I used to live at.
And you know that because?
The smell.
Because the whole fucking complex, and the back end of the complex where we lived knew it.
Yes.
Because we'd open the doors to air out the hallway because it was an enclosed fucking building.
Exactly. That was the point.
Yeah, no, and I mean, that's the other thing. Like, this is what this boils down to, and this is why I've had a beef with anti-smoking and shit and these type of laws, because it's always predicated upon, well, it's for health reasons. No, it's fucking not. It's not. It's you don't want to smell it. You don't like it. Stop doing something I don't like. I'm going to tell you something. I used to smoke 3 packs a fucking day. I could put them the fuck down. The only thing I could put down quicker and harder than cigarettes was beer. That's it. And I was good at both. And I haven't had a cigarette. It'll be a year in February. And I'm waiting to hate them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's every non-smoker I've ever met, when I really, like, now that I'm a non-smoker, I'm like, do you hate the smell of cigarette smoke? They're like, I hate it because I smell it and it makes me want one. So I just wish no one could smoke so I wouldn't have to think about it. Well, fuck you. Get some fucking self-control, motherfucker. Like, on top of that, this is what I'm getting at when I say that we as a society have gotten to the point where we somehow think that we are entitled and have a right to walk around and not be mildly annoyed
by anything or anybody.
Absolutely. And this is part of it. And I mean, like,
it's unrealistic.
And if it infringes upon your right as it's supposed to celebrate mine, well, fuck you. That's why.
Well, I mean, okay. First of all, there's ways around this, and I'm surprised this hasn't happened. And especially in D.C., I got to think D.C. is D.C.'s got to be a pretty Democrat-controlled fucking, if we're talking like, the district. You know what I'm saying? Washington, D.C. And so, I mean, they used to do this in New York. They used to have, like, smoking apartments or smoking houses for rent and non-smoking apartments and non-smoking houses. And you were told that up front. And that was immediate eviction. Well, not immediate, but you know what I'm saying? Like, as quick as legally allowed eviction. If they caught you breaking your lease, why don't they just do that? Wouldn't that make that easier? They'd create scarcity so you could drive up the price of the smoking apartments because you're going to have less of those because less of the population smokes these days. So it's a win-win from a shitty capitalism point of view, too.
Well, you're charging me for my lifestyle choice, man.
Hey, last time I bought a pack of cigarettes, it was 9-something. You're being charged for it already, dude.
And it's not even in any writing that I'm charging you for a lifestyle choice. It's just what I decided to rent the apartment for.
But I mean, there are so many ways to go about this to where to take someone else's right to do something away shouldn't even be brought up yet. We're not even close to that point. But that is immediately where people go these days.
Okay.
And it's not just these days, but I think it's encouraged these days.
All right. So I'm using my 2023 brain, and I'm going to play devil's advocate here. Where does it... Because you know it's going to come. Right? Well, if you don't mind weed smoke, why do you mind Drag Queen Story Hour?
Oh, of course. There's going to be some false equivalency drawn between the two. Like I said.
Well, if you don't mind smelling weed, what's your problem with the drag queens reading to kids?
Because that's how 2023 works now, apparently. This is progress, folks.
That just doesn't make that. There is no comparison. That makes no sense.
Why? It's just something that's like happening out in society. It's like weed smoke. It's like your kids are going to smell it. You got to tell them what it is.
Which, by the way, I want to say this: like, if you don't live in a state where it's legal, holy shit,
bad.
You drive through certain fucking cities where they have the dispensaries or the grow operations, and you know it, and you don't even I haven't even seen a sign yet. I did not know a whole city could smell like weed.
There is a section of I-94 in Macomb County that smells like weed because you were driving by like fucking like a half a dozen grow ops all in a row.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, and here's my thing. For us, it's just a new smell that we haven't gotten used to yet in a cacophony of industrial chemical smells that we live with every day here in the Motor City.
For us,
shocking, I know.
For us, it's an upgrade. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's probably healthier to breathe that than the fucking exhaust in this fucking on Gratiot. But I mean, like,
I promise you, I want to breathe in weed instead of roll by a farm.
Motherfucker,
once.
Drive west. You can smell all the weed you want.
I'm saying though, if you drive by a farm here, before you even see the farm, you can smell it.
Oh wait, now you're surrounded. Drive east. Missouri's got it now.
You know what I was thinking though? Okay, before we get lost in the fantasy land where he ain't doing any of that. I forgot about this. In the article, if I'm remembering correctly, they were like, one of the opposition to the resistance of letting, one of the counter arguments to the lady's argument to ban smoking weed indoors, I guess. Potential bitch that she smells it outdoors where you're supposed to smoke it, whatever, was they have edibles. So you don't have to smoke it, which led me to think, well, first of all, I understand some people just want that flower, but buy a vaporizer, buy some edibles and get some flower and go smoke your flower when you're not in your apartment and just take your edibles and smoke your fucking vape when you are.
Yeah, but Rich, we're at the same point that Jess brought up. With the curry, you're going to smell it being cooked.
No, dude. You don't understand.
If your neighbor's threatening to sue you, go get a vape pen. I mean, that's what Rich is getting at.
And edibles are packaged like candy, dude. There's no preparation. You open them up and eat them. There's nothing to cook. There's no smell. That's what I'm saying.
Point out the one who doesn't do weed.
Well, my point is that could be used as an argument like we just no need to smoke indoors, which I guess, to be fair, that's a valid point. So this is, I mean, here she's not really saying don't ingest weed around me, and there are alternative delivery methods. Even though I don't agree with the woman, I think she's legally. If I was if I was a judge, I'd have to rule in her favor.
I think that what goes on in your home is your own business, and then that same woman could turn around and be like, she sprays a perfume that gives me a headache, and it comes through the wall.
Here's the thing. I don't know if this is a state-by-state thing, but in certain states, it's already that way anyways. Like, if you own your home, they can't tell you what to do. But if you rent, absolutely, it's up to the landowner. And if they, I mean, you know what I'm saying? In apartment complexes, they won't. In New York, they wouldn't rent to me because I smoke. And then one motherfucker, I got out and I started walking up and I went to go shake his hand. We're outside in the winter in freezing cold upstate New York. And before I could even shake his hand, he's like, I smell a cigarette on you. This ain't going to work. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, there are legal precedents for if it disturbs other people in the dwelling, like it's more than a single family house or it's a duplex or it's an apartment. There are legal precedents that, yes, that could be considered like a nuisance violation, I guess, almost like a noise violation. That's all I'm saying.
I see it.
Okay, time out. Before anybody gets their fucking panties and their fucking tampon up their ass sideways, notice I said I don't agree with her, but if I was the judge, I'd be forced to rule with her.
Yeah, no, I said I see your point. Absolutely.
But I know, but people don't hear that part. I'm not saying on this podcast, but I'm just saying, like, in general, in life. Don't just jump, oh, you said something I don't like. No, what did the whole thing. What did the whole thing? What did I say? The whole thing, stupid.
Hold on, I got to straighten out my tampon.
You're so high you can't find it.
I mean, I saw that you wear slim fit ones, so congratulations.
Yeah, right in the old house. Yeah.
All right, moving past. Speaking of children throwing fits.
Uh-oh.
There's a viral video going around that the internet's pissed off about where this kid, you don't find out till later in the video, but this kid was like messing around with people's car in a parking lot, and they're at, I can't really tell if it's a park or just some public area. And he was messing around with these cars, and this adult man went and told him to stop and called whoever ran the park, or whoever, someone he knew that worked for the park, who came out, told the kid to go. The guy left, the guy who came out and told the kid to go, and the kid, 10 years old, dropped his bike and charged back at the guy and was pissed at him, the guy who ratted him out and told him to stop messing with the cars. And he is like bucking up to him. He is like doing everything he can to get into this man's face. And this man's getting more and more. He's very calm. He has a very calm voice. But you hear him at one point be like, if you touch me again, I am going to lay you out. And the kid just like jabs him in the chest. This guy walks away, makes a phone call, like, do you know who this Johnny's hanging out with? Because his mama needs to get down here and whatever. So makes this phone call, gets off the phone, goes to walk inside of a building, and this kid is not letting him walk. He is like pressed up against him. At one point starts like shoving him backwards. And the guy gets to the door and goes to go inside, and the kid starts just hitting him. And the guy's kind of like laughing it off. He's antagonizing him a little bit, like, ooh, so bad, hoo-hoo. And the kid hits, shoves, hits. And about the fifth or sixth hit he got in on him, this guy snaps, grabs this kid by his neck, pushes him around the corner, and shoves him on the ground. And then the kid's just falling to pieces, screaming, crying, help.
He knew that.
But just,
that's the thing. Like,
that was,
he knew that was going to happen. Like, he should have, like, dude, he's an adult. Like, that call should have been to the cops. Like, I'm going to be on the side of, like, dude, you're an adult. That's a kid. You're an adult. Yeah, the kid, it's a shitty kid. I'm not, that doesn't make no mistake about it. That is a shithead kid, but dude, it's a minor. You got to have self-control.
Yeah, how long do you stand and get beat up by a kid?
Just leave. Like, if you're not going to call the police, just leave.
He was trying to leave, and no other adult is intervening in this. People are recording it. They're standing around there watching this happen.
They were waiting for it to happen.
Yes. But then also...
Yeah, the guy doing the filming on the long one that was uncut, the minute it was done and over with, and the kid had stopped his fucking crocodile tears, and the guy walked around the corner or whatever, man, he went play by play. He's like, he knew the whole thing. He's like, and I think he said, yeah, the kid was over there and he's pissing by someone's car and between cars and stuff. And I was like, now if that's the case, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because I'm of the opinion, like, it ain't your kid, like, it ain't your car. Like, you just maybe like look around with your eyebrows raised at everybody and be like, whose car is that? Someone might want to say something.
I mean, I guess
ain't my car.
I knew shitty kids like that. The way you make them scarce real quick is have a cruiser show up. Those kids become ghosts real quick.
What I'm saying is fucking around near the cars is bad enough. Fucking around in various states of undress these days, a child, no. Not playing that bullshit. So if the kid was pissing, somebody should have it shouldn't even have escalated to the point where that kid and that guy got into each other's face. Someone should have called the cops and been like, hey, you got a kid waving his dick around out here in public.
Yeah.
I didn't hear him say that. I heard him say he was messing with the cars.
Okay, well, I fully believe I could have misheard it. I tried to rewind it 2 or 3 times and it kept freezing and then fucking buffering and then jumping, and I finally said, fuck it.
Well, it was muffled. It wasn't the greatest quality whenever he said it, because I also had to rewind it through there, because if he's over there like trying to get into cars or scratching cars up, I mean, I would tell a kid to stop. I would have zero issue telling a kid to stop. But then that kid, once he fell down and he's screaming help and he's losing his mind and all of this, these women walk over who also saw the whole thing happen. And they're like, we saw all of this. Like, you're okay. And then the kid's pissed again. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, whore. Like, jumping in a woman's face. And this woman was almost eye to eye with him. He was 10, but he was a big 10.
I'm just saying that kid would have pissed his pants if the cops showed up. That's how you fix that situation.
First of all, dude, what Mayberry RFD are you calling the cops and they're showing up like in a minute or 30 seconds so that kid can piss his pants and not fucking beat fucking feet out of there? I mean, like, and what lesson does he learn then? If I outrun the cops, I get to do what I want?
And at the end of the video, too, they also said something about he was talking to someone else and she was like, oh, we've had to call the cops on him. And the main guy who pushed the kid down was like, on that kid? He goes, yeah, we've had the cops out for that kid.
Don't get me wrong, man. I was a kid who you're an adult and that means jack and shit to me, and they both just left town. I don't give a fuck. Like, I was that kid, all right? But I also knew I better be in 100% right if I fucking started flexing to an adult. Or I was either going to get my ass beat by that adult and one of my parents when I got home, or just one of my parents when I got home and they found out. That kid's never had his ass beat. Yeah. Or if he has, that kid's been beat. That kid's never been fucking punished. And there is a difference. And I don't believe in hitting kids. Good for you. I don't care. Wonderful. But there's a difference between spanking a kid and beating the dog shit out of a kid like he's a goddamn grown man. There is. End of fucking discussion. And that kid has never had an ass whooping. Because you don't act like that once you have an ass whooping.
I like one of the comments in the video, under the video, it said, yeah, congratulations, keep arguing parents and behavior and choking them. Yeah, that kid's going to own an AR-15 in about 6 years. Good luck.
See, here's the thing. He ain't going to be a school shooter. School shooter wouldn't have the balls to go up to a fucking stranger and do that. School shooters are cowards. That motherfucker's going to be a fucking cop someday.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's going to be beating the shit out of somebody's kid on the side of the road one day because he found a fucking roach in their pocket.
That kid's going in the
military. Shoot him as he's running away from the fucking fast food joint.
That's my bigger concern. I mean, like, here's the thing. That kid is out of control at this point. So the parents, you done failed. In fact, I mean, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. If this was the 80s in the right neighborhood, the wrong person sees that kid's in the system right now. Do we know if that kid's in the system right now?
Was
there any follow-up?
The follow-up to that was the cops were called, and the guy had the video that was recorded, and he showed that to the police officer, and the police officer asked that man if he would like to press charges against that kid, and the man declined. The mother reached out to the man and apologized.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, here's the law is child or not. He struck that man. That's assault. In fact, that's assault and battery, because assault is verbal and battery is physical, and he was talking shit and he hit him.
Yep.
So that's assault and battery. And that man, by the definition of the law, if we're being fucking, actually assholes, he didn't keep beating on that kid. He subdued that kid and got him away from him, which is what you're supposed to do legally. Subdue.
And retreated.
And retreat. Subdue and retreat. So, yeah, I mean, if that was an adult, we wouldn't be talking about this. It's only because he's a kid. Now, here's the thing. That doesn't give him an excuse to do that. I don't give a fuck whose kid he is.
I don't love the idea of, like, another adult putting their hands on my kids, despite what little terrors they may be. But also, if my kids were that out of control, if my kids are picking a fight with a grown-ass man, I'm going to, like, to that level, I'm going to be thankful that that's all that happened to my kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest. I never looked at it that point of view. If I'm a mother out with a 10-year-old and my 10-year-old's acting like that 10-year-old, obviously you can't control him. So if he goes over there and picks a fight with a grown man and he just happens to find the one motherfucker who woke up like, not today, Sonny, that could go real bad real quick.
Yeah.
And why? Because out of control kid.
Yep.
So here's the thing. Now the adults are all in jail. Kids in the system. What did the kid learn? Are we going to turn out a better fucking member of society at the end of this? No. But the law was followed, so that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Chris, do I hear you right? You didn't agree with pushing the kid down, though?
I don't agree with pounding on someone else's kid. No.
You didn't pound on him. You just pushed him to the ground.
Exactly.
It's a minor not related to you.
That was trying to beat the shit out of me.
So leave the situation.
After yelling at me for 20 minutes.
Leave the situation.
He did.
No.
And when he tried to enter the building, he got swung on.
So keep walking.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck was that building? Was that like a snack hut at a public
It
park?
was like a snack hut. And that's where I was thinking.
Okay, because I was like, is that like a Sonic? Because that would have been different if the kid was playing between cars at a Sonic. I would be like, yeah, especially if he's pissing between cars at a Sonic. Yeah, that'd be a problem.
Looked like a snack hut at a park.
Yeah, it looked like they were at a park.
I don't know. Maybe I got a decent fucking video card and everything, but I don't know, maybe the video was real low resolution. I couldn't tell shit. And I put it on full screen and had the volume up with headphones and was like, did he say that kid was pissing? So,
well, I mean, he was sitting at a table with metal that was into the ground like it was a park. So,
but Sonic has those out front, and they have the car hops that you pull up to. So that's what I thought maybe it was, but it doesn't matter.
Well, there was like a little bike trail too, like a little walking trail, bike trail thing.
My point is, if he's trying to get into the building and he needs, like, he's, I don't know, showing up for work, or he needs to get in there for something, that's one thing.
To cook or whatever.
But if it's like he was hanging out waiting in line and then all that shit popped off and then it kept going on and on and on and on, yeah, I mean, I ain't going to agree with you, Chris, but I can see you can make a fucking valid argument that, yeah, he should have probably just turned around and got in his car and left.
Now, I'm hoping his mom's whipping his ass. That's another conversation.
Well,
beat on your own kid.
In my
I don't know,
experience,
man.
if it's like that, that kid's he's either beaten and then thrown in a fucking corner and forgotten until he fucks up again, or he's allowed to do whatever he fucking wants and he runs the fucking house. It's hardly
the latter.
Yeah, it's hardly ever like, oh no, he's a perfect little angel until he gets out in public. That's movie shit. That's not reality. But I mean, okay, now here. So now the two people without children have spoken. Jess, you said, hey, one of my kids, 10 years old, does that. This is how I was raised. My dad took me to Bike Week when I was a kid, and he said, now listen to me. There's some rough-looking characters that come out to Bike Week, and they don't suffer mouthy little bratty shits who want to talk about them loud enough for them to hear. And I'm not going to take on a whole fucking biker gang because you decided you had to say something. So you run your mouth, I'll come by when they're done and scrape you up with a putty knife, and we'll go home, okay? And I pretty much message got, don't fuck with adults. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, it's not just the adult part. It's not just someone older. It's common fucking sense, dude. How many? What is that guy got 100 pounds on that kid? If that guy knows how to even slightly put his weight behind a punch, he could have put that kid through the ground. And that kid needs to learn that this ain't the movies, and you ain't Iron Man and and Captain America. You ain't gonna get up from every punch, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna revert back to the 80s when I was a kid, and sometimes it takes a village. My next door neighbor was very, very good friends with my parents when I was young. And if I was caught fucking around, I got spanked by the neighbors probably more easily than I would my own parents. So, this kid's out of control and he thinks he can go up to this hut of whatever and go anywhere and fuck with adults. And, well, he fucked around and found out. No, you can't. But
now,
he did it in a manner where he corrected the kid, but didn't hurt the kid.
Man, okay, look, bro, okay, we get it, but you ain't got to fucking, he didn't mush the guy or the kid, okay, like, it wasn't like that. He gripped him up by his fucking throat and shoved him by his throat, all right, and I understand exactly why he did it. Pretty much, if the kid was 17, it'd have probably been a replay of the scene from fucking Good Will Hunting. Talk about my wife again, I'll end you, Chief. That'd have probably been what the fucking scene would have been if he was 17, but he's not, he's 10. I just keep going back to what the fuck does this kid take from this? Because I'm going to tell you this right now. There's going to be people online fucking gassing this kid up, telling, oh, that was horrible and blah, blah, blah. And he's going to fucking walk away thinking he's 100% right. And I mean, congrats. Well, we've created another sociopath to unleash upon us. Wonderful.
Well, here's the thing, though, Rich. Whether he thinks he's right or not, the one thing I know he's going to take from this is be very careful who I'm right to.
I don't think so, dude.
I don't know.
Think so.
Because he cussed out the girl
think they should
The
charge
lady,
his
like,
ass,
just said,
too. Like, you got your ass whooped by a stranger, and you got some charges.
I mean, dude, I think the fact that he got he went into crocodile, too. First of all, that was the fakest cry ever. Come on, man.
Absolutely.
Fuck out of here. 2, he immediately turned it off like a switch when the chick fucking started talking to him. So they like, dude, this kid, you ever seen the movie with Richard Gere and Edward Norton, where Edward Norton plays the guy with like multiple personalities, and he killed the priest, and he plays it that the killer is the alternate personality and the nice guy is the real personality? No. This kid's like the asshole, and the nice guy comes out when he thinks he needs something. Because the minute that chick was like, yeah, okay, you deserve that, he was like, hey, fuck you, cunt. Your mother sucks cocks in hell. It's like this kid went full fucking exorcist on a dime. Like, I was a demon of a kid. I wouldn't pull shit like that with complete strangers in a million years. Like,
see, he cussed her out, but he didn't buck up like he did to the guy. So I think definite lesson he's going to learn is be careful who I'm right to, who I buck up against. Because he did that to the guy knowing that he's 10 years old. He has the right. He's not going to get touched. And if he does, he's going to beat someone's ass. Well, he fucked around and found out that's not true today.
Well, anybody know where exactly was this?
I did not see that they said where it was.
Where in Florida was this?
I swore I heard some southern twangs in there. And if that's the case, I got to imagine that maybe, hopefully, the South still has enough of its fucking charm in it to where it's like, come here, boy. We don't act like that where Yankees can see. What the fuck's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? And he fucking jerk a knot in his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to tell you what, only probably down south does boy go get my Switch not mean go get my Nintendo.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ask Ray G. Peterson.
So, yeah, just pointing that out. So, I mean, there is always hope that this kid's ass has been beaten morning, noon, nightly, and ever so rightly. So, we can hope. Beat your children, folks.
Yeah, just don't beat other people's children. Keep it in the family.
Takes a village sometimes, sir.
I don't even think it takes a village. I know what you're talking about because I had it too. I just think it was like adults had carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they wanted with kids, even that fucking recently.
Yep.
Like I remember the neighbors' names because if I was playing out in the yard and I wandered out of my yard into the neighbor's yard, the Perrys would come over and fucking unload on me and then go in and get my mom and she would unload on me. So, yeah, it was like there was no fucking around.
My childless person retort to it takes a village. It's not my job to raise your fucking kid. I didn't choose to have children. You did.
Yeah, but if your fucking kid comes over and makes it my job, fear not, I got you.
It's still ain't my job. Do your job. I didn't choose to have children.
You didn't hear what I said.
You did. It's still my stance. I heard what you said. I didn't choose to have children. That's your job. Make that kid not a fuckhead.
And he came over and made it my job.
It's not my job because it's not my kid. Your kid being an asshole isn't my job.
But it's also not your job to show restraint when a kid's beating up on you either. It's not your job to show a parent's love to that kid and not pick him up and throw him to the fucking ground.
It's not my job to rear your child. If your kid's being a dick, you got to figure that shit out.
Oh, generational differences.
Not really, because I'm with you.
I was trying to use that as a smooth transition into the generational differences, Earl.
I know you were.
We got to wrap it up.
Rich, take it home.
Yeah, just basically popping around on the internet and come across a screenshot of a corporate memo that was at an anonymous company sent around talking about the different generations. And one of the things that I've been talking about is how they're just trying to erase basically the Gen X, like they did the silent generation. And I'm sitting here looking at this and it says, okay, it says different generations, screenshots like an Excel sheet or whatever the fuck. It says traditionalist veterans up to 1945, baby boomers 46 to 64, Gen X 65 to 76. We'll come back to that. Millennials 77 to 95, Gen Z 96 to 2020. By the way, notice a pattern that certain generations get bigger?
Yeah.
And overlap.
All of a sudden,
And
Gen X is 12 years?
And Snowflake Gen Z. I want to know, I kind of want to know what company this was. It's calling a generation Snowflake, but sure. 2000 to now, which also overlaps with Gen Z. It doesn't make any sense is the long story short. But I want to point something out. Traditionalist veterans, right? 19 and 1945. That's basically what they do. They didn't even name the generation, the quote unquote greatest generation and the silent generation. They just combined and just, they don't even have a start date. They just this is the last year they were born. That's it. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a disregard for what's come before. Baby boomers still get their full fucking term. Yeah. Gen X, yeah, we're down to 12 years. Millennials get 77 to 95.
Hey, motherfucker, we only had 15 to begin with.
But I'm telling you, this is a tactic used to get people to think of themselves in different and think of each other in different ways. It's a way to erase Generation X, just like they erased the silent generation. If you go back and you look at a lot of what gets credited to the quote unquote greatest generation, the World War II generation, it's really the silent generation. A lot of the music that people think, a lot of the film and the art and the literature, that was the silent generation. And with baby boomers, what's happened? Anybody older than a millennial is now a boomer. They're just lumped together. But really, once again, a whole generation that had its own ecosystem, its own culture of entertainment, its own fucking little spot in history in this Pax Americana we have here. No, we're just gonna get rid of it. Why? It makes marketing easier, and it makes fucking dividing them up politically easier. That's just what we'll do.
I don't want to be a millennial. I told you, if you look at it though, I really do think part of, at least whatever marketing genius do this, it does seem to be, the line is now like if you had internet in high school. Because like 76, those were seniors when I was a freshman. Those people didn't have internet in high school. But by the time I was a senior, there was an internet computer in the library and this and, and all that shit.
I never went to a high school with internet that I knew of. Unless they had it in the office. I mean, we never had it in the classroom or any of the...
One computer in our library, but they made a big deal about it.
I played the Oregon Trail.
Dude, we were straight up Dewey Decimal System. Straight up. Dude, stamping your fucking card in the library. 1990 to 1994. That's how it was in the high schools I went to. So, on top of it, I find this funny because this is a corporate thing. This isn't a government thing now. This is a private job. And when I say corporate, I mean it could be corporate or it could just be like, I don't know, somebody printed it up at home and handed it to their employees. Who knows? But we're told not to generalize, and generalizing is bad. But yet they have these like traits next to the generations, like the traditionalists and veterans. Their traits are disciplined, loyal, plan, and save. The baby boomers are optimism driven, wants to be involved. Gen X is self-reliant, trust is earned, efficient. Millennials, multitask, confident, ask why. Gen Z, realistic, competitive, independent.
Gen Z is realistic? That is hilarious to me.
Well, here's what's funny. Gen Z, realistic, competitive, independent. Snowflake Gen / Gen Z, unique, special. So are you realistic or are you unique and special?
Independent? Didn't we just talk about how these motherfuckers are living at home till they're like 35?
This is just stuff to like ultimately it means nothing, but it tells you about people. This is like when you walk into someone's house and you look at what they decorate their house with. No, that's not, it doesn't make them, that doesn't encapsulate them, but it tells you a little bit about them. This tells you about the mindset of our society. We're just happy to just absorb and erase generations willy-nilly just for the sake of sell a few fucking more things or make a few people hate people more to vote my way I want them to vote. God damn, I'm just like, that is fucking great. That's a can't miss attitude to go forth with. It's going to do nothing but bring about the socialist utopia that they all want.
They're doing such a good job at getting there.
You're just mad because you're stuck in millennial no matter what.
I really am.
There's no moving where you're at.
I just don't identify as a millennial. It's fine. The millennials said I could do that.
It's true.
Transgenerational.
She's living her truth.
I am.
Transgenerational. There you go.
Stunning and brave.
Thank you.
Hold on. That's for you.
Thank you. I'm a pioneer in this movement.
You and Jennifer Lawrence, the first women to do everything.
Yes.
I accept that.
All right. Is that it, y'all? Well, I'm talking to you too long, Jess. I'm saying y'all.
Yes. That is my win for the day.
Yeah,
Yes.
because this motherfucker's a stone cold Yankee. There ain't nothing Southern about him. Unless his family's from Southern Lebanon or something.
At the Midwest accent and everything.
That made me happier than it should have.
Right on. Well.
Oh, real quick. Breaking news.
Ooh.
Oh, not breaking news.
What are we wrong about now?
No, never mind. It's from a... God damn it. The stupid fucking feed, it said breaking news, but it's the next post, Matt Patricia's out. That was just for Lions fans, but that happened yesterday because I just noticed. Yeah. Per Adam Schefter. Matt Patricia out at New England. Bill O'Brien's their new offensive coordinator. So.
And for whatever you do, do not ask Tom Brady if he's playing next year.
By the way, real quick, just want to point out that the Detroit Lions have been paying Matt Patricia's salary for him to work for the New England Patriots up until the end of this season. The minute that he no longer was getting paid by the Detroit Lions, New England Patriots said, peace. Good luck on your next fucking venture. There you go, folks.
Here comes the money.
Take your 3 wins and go fuck yourself. It's going to be the motto for our podcast from here on out. Which you can find on social media at Gen Exhausted Pod on both Facebook and Twitter, where you can like and share and retweet and whatever the parlance of your platform is. Go to ChristopherMedia.net, hit the PayPal button if you'd like to help us out. Wherever you listen to us, rate us, review us, help other people find the show if you dig it. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next week.
All right. Later, guys.
See ya.
Peace out, y'all.
Please allow me to adjust my pants so that I may dance the good time dance and put the onlookers and innocent bystanders into a trance. Give the cease so the swine will marry and propagate lies. Tough luck for elected officials. The beast you see got 50 eyes. Bring it on home, spread the wealth, play it cool, the hand's been dealt. Now all the odds are in our favor. Save the victory speeches for later. Streets on fire. The mob goes wild, wild, wild. Streets on fire. The mob goes wild. 21 guns, rocks made of pine. Letter from the government, sealed and signed. Delivered Federal Express on your mother's doorsteps. 21 guns, rocks made of pine. Letter from the government, sealed and signed. Delivered Federal Express on your mother's doorsteps. Condoleezza Rice is nice, but I prefer Aroni. And that man on the TV who speaks to the dead, you know that man's a phony. Everybody move to Canada, smoke lots of pot. Everybody move to Canada right now. Here's how we do it. Bum rush the border guard before he and his dog ever knew it. Streets on fire. The mob goes wild, wild, wild. Streets on fire. The mob goes wild. 21 guns, rocks made of pine. Letter from the government, sealed and signed. Delivered Federal Express on your mother's doorsteps. 21 guns, rocks made of pine. Letter from the government, sealed and signed. Delivered Federal Express on your mother's doorsteps. Well, alright.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.